Chapter 1601. There are wanted posters everywhere. Xia Ping turned into an ant and hid near a street. He spread out his divine sense and sensed the area within 1,000 miles, carefully listening to the news around him. He also knew that he had killed the young master of the nine-headed bird race, causing a huge uproar and enraging the nine-headed bird king. The entire planet was filled with wanted posters, swearing to capture him. Even the people on the streets were eager to find him and receive the huge reward from the nine-headed bird race. Unfortunately, they could not find him in the ant form. If he did not show up on his own, even a sage would not be able to find his whereabouts. However, he could not reveal his identity and would probably have to wait for the Dragonwood secret realm to open again. But it did not matter, it would not be long. Suddenly, Xia Ping's eyes flashed. He sensed two familiar auras passing by. He looked up and immediately saw two beautiful figures walking by the side of the street. Tu Linglong and Qing Wan. He immediately recognized the two figures. They were Tu Linglong and Qing Wan, whom he had not seen for more than 2 years. Under normal circumstances, shouldn't the two of them be in the cloud world? Why would they appear in the Western universe, and on Dragonwood Star at that? Did they also want to enter the Dragonwood secret realm? But why did they obtain the spirit talisman of the Dragonwood secret realm? For a moment, he was very curious about this matter. After thinking about it, Xia Ping used his magic power to conceal his aura and immediately followed them. At this time, Tu Linglong and Qing Wan turned left and right and arrived at a nearby courtyard. It seemed that they had rented this courtyard, and there was no one around. The two were very cautious. After sensing that no one was following them, they finally stepped into the courtyard and came to the living room, sitting down. They have grown quite a bit. Xia Ping naturally followed them in. When he came to their side, he saw that Tu Linglong and Qing Wan's cultivation had improved by leaps and bounds. They had actually reached the mid-stage of the treasure refining realm, which was completely different from when they were in the cloud realm. As expected, the two of them must have had a great fortuitous encounter. Aside from the massive improvements in their cultivation bases, Tu Linglong and Qing Wan's bodies had also matured significantly. They were around 7 to 8 centimeters taller than before, and their figures seemed to have become even hotter. This was especially true for Tu Linglong. She had a voluptuous figure that was extremely alluring. It was as if she had broken free from gravity. On the other hand, the green Wan had become even more tranquil and mature. She wore a green long dress, and she was simply like a mature lady with supreme wisdom. She emitted a calm aura, and it seemed as if no matter what happened, she would not be able to waver in the slightest. It was even to the extent that he was able to sense that the bloodline of the Azure Phoenix was at least a few tens of times denser than before, and it was suffused with the aura of a divine beast. Every single move of hers was completely natural, as if an ancient Azure Phoenix had emerged into the world. It was the same for Tu Linglong. She seemed to have completely activated her space-time rabbit bloodline, and the aura of space emanating from her body had fused as one with the surrounding space. There were countless faintly discernible and transparent runes on the surface of her skin, forming a mysterious bloodline formation. Big sister, the trial mission of the Dragonwood secret realm this time doesn't seem to be simple. According to the news I've heard in the past few days, it seems that geniuses from various powerful races of the Western cosmos have entered, and even Thunder Tribulation realm experts have entered in search of fortuitous opportunities. Tu Linglong said, with our current strength, it is simply too difficult to enter the Dragonwood secret realm to find the Dragonwood source. This mission is practically a suicide mission. She was extremely worried. Don't worry. How can a trial mission issued by the demonic temple be a suicide mission? There will always be a chance, comforted the Green Wan. Although there are many experts entering the Dragonwood secret realm this time, it's not like we don't stand a chance. Linglong, your space-time rabbit bloodline allows you to control the power of space, and you can hide your aura at any time. You can escape into the void, and even experts won't be able to find you. Furthermore, the power of my Azure Phoenix bloodline has also been completely activated. We have the attribute of luck, an absolute sixth sense, and an instinct to avoid life and death crises. With our strength, even if there are many experts in the Dragonwood's secret realm, we will definitely be safe and sound. We might even be able to obtain some benefits. She was extremely confident in her and Tu Linglong's bloodline ability. Even if the Dragonwood's secret realm was filled with dangers, as long as they were careful, they would definitely not be harmed. The attribute of luck. The Azure Phoenix bloodline. Xia Ping was also a little surprised. He also remembered that the Azure Phoenix was a divine beast that symbolized luck in ancient times. It was a legendary fantasy breed, and every living being that met the Azure Phoenix could fulfill their wishes. This was because this was one of the Azure Phoenix's origin powers. It could control the power of luck, and it could avoid death, find precious treasures, and fulfill all of its wishes. It was simply a child of luck favored by heaven and earth. In the legends, it was said that the Azure Phoenix would pick up treasures after falling off a cliff, and would be smashed with money the moment it stepped out. If someone wanted to deal with the Azure Phoenix and had evil intentions, the enemy would automatically be unlucky, and they would encounter countless disasters. In the past, the Azure Phoenix's bloodline was too thin, and it was unable to give birth to this ability. But after 2 years, it was obvious that the Azure Phoenix's bloodline was more than 10 times more concentrated, and this bloodline ability was completely activated. Now, with the addition of the Spacetime Rabbit's ability to escape into the void, it was likely that the two of them would be like fish in water in the Dragonwood's secret realm. Sister Azure Phoenix is right. It seems that I don't have to worry about anything anymore. When I enter the Dragonwood's secret realm and obtain a large amount of Dragonwood source, I can continue to increase the power of the Spacetime Rabbit's bloodline. Tu Linglong suddenly became excited, and she said proudly, "Haha, then I will master the power of spacetime and become a supreme divine beast." At that time, how could that despicable human Xia Ping be a match for this divine beast? Very soon, this divine beast will be able to capture him and beat him up. He will clean my toilet, pour my tea, wash my clothes, and make my bed. She thought of the human Xia Ping she met in the heavenly realm. Although more than 2 years had passed, she still hated this bastard human to the core. This humiliation could not be washed away even by the waters of 3 rivers. It was because of this bastard that she fell into the Demon Temple, accepted the Demon Temple's inheritance, and went to various places in the universe to train and cultivate. Along the way, they experienced a narrow escape from death and unimaginable trials in the heavenly realm. For example, they were thrown into a special secret realm that was full of wild beasts, and they were chased in that place for 100 years. They were thrown into a dark secret realm, where there was no daylight, and they lived there for 100 years. Or they stayed in a certain abyss world, where they were chased by abyss demon beasts and almost became food. Of course, the flow of time in these secret realms was much faster than that in the outside world. All in all, although only a little more than 2 years had passed in the outside world, they had cultivated in those secret realms for almost 300 years, and they had experienced countless hardships. Of course, every time they experienced hardships, her resentment towards Xia Ping grew stronger. In the end, they obtained a solid martial arts foundation, purified their bloodline, and raised their cultivation to the middle stage of the treasure refining realm, obtaining unimaginable combat power. Chapter 1602. Big Sister, if we return to Cloud World now, will that human be shocked to see us like this? Tu Linglong rolled her eyes and looked at the blue wand. Of course. After all, Cloud World is too small. The strongest is only in the divine realm. The blue wand said, only 2 years have passed. No matter how monstrous that human's talent is, it would be amazing if he could reach the fulfillment realm. Even if he exceeded our expectations and stepped into the divine realm. Compared to us who have reached the treasure refinement realm, the difference is like heaven and earth. She felt that no matter how strong that human was, reaching the divine realm was already amazing. It wasn't that she looked down on the human, but the resources in Cloud World itself limited the development of humans and monsters. No matter how monstrous their talent was, reaching the divine realm was the limit. If they wanted to evolve further, they had to leave Cloud World. However, they could only leave Cloud World with the help of the demonic temple. How could that human have a way? Perhaps he would continue to stay in Cloud World, unaware of the vastness of the universe. I think so too. If we return to Cloud World now, we will scare that shameless human to death. Tu Linglong nodded and said proudly. She seemed to have imagined this scene. She would return to Cloud World and see that despicable human Xia Ping again. That Xia Ping had no idea how terrifying she was, and still recklessly rushed forward, wanting to fight with her. Who would have thought that she was already different from before? With a palm strike, that human Xia Ping was sent flying, unable to resist at all. He fell to the ground and vomited blood, like a turtle flipping over, unable to get up no matter what. In the end, Xia Ping cried and apologized to her. I'm sorry, Lady Tu Linglong. This lowly one had eyes but failed to recognize Mount Tai. I didn't know that Lady Tu Linglong was so talented and strong. Now, he actually dared to recklessly offend His Excellency. He truly deserved to die 10,000 times for his sins. I've done a lot of terrible things to Master Tu Linglong in the past, so I hope you can forgive me and spare my lowly life. Then she sneered and looked down. Now you know that you are wrong and know to beg for mercy. Do you remember how you bullied this divine beast? You want me to forgive you? Stop dreaming. If you want this divine beast to spare you, it's very simple. In the future, you will work like a cow or a horse for me and become my servant. Every day, you will wash my clothes, fold my blankets, pour my tea, and be on call. Also, you will sleep in the cowshed and wear tattered clothes every day. Thank you, Lady Tu Linglong. I'm willing to be your slave for the rest of my life. It's my honor. Not only was that human Xia Ping not angry, he even shed tears of gratitude, believing that she, Tu Linglong, was lenient and merciful. From then on, she lived the life of a slave master who ordered this shameless human around. Thinking of this, Tu Linglong began to drool. She revealed a silly smile and was extremely excited. She wished she could immediately return to the Cloud World and show off in front of that shameless human. Little rabbit, what are you giggling about? All of a sudden, a voice sounded. I'm not laughing foolishly. I'm just thinking about how I can order that despicable human around. Tu Linglong subconsciously replied. However, she soon realized that it wasn't the Green Phoenix's voice. She turned around and was instantly shocked. A strange man had appeared behind her. No, he wasn't strange at all. On the contrary, he was incomparably familiar and unforgettable. This was because this man was the despicable human, Xia Ping, whom she wanted to catch and beat up day and night. Xia Ping. Tu Linglong was dumbfounded. She was dumbfounded. She didn't expect to meet Xia Ping in this place. What's going on? Why are you here? The Green Phoenix was also taken aback. Before Xia Ping appeared, she didn't sense any aura at all. Even the Green Phoenix's instinct for danger didn't sound out. It was as if she was completely fooled. This was the first time she encountered such a thing. Why are you here? It's simple. Because I also want to enter the Dragonwood's secret realm. Xia Ping grinned. However, in Tu Linglong's eyes, this was the smile of a devil. It was a nightmare that had haunted her for many years. Shameless human, I finally meet you again. Now is the time for me to take revenge. Die. She was first surprised, then confused, then excited and happy. Because seeing this human Xia Ping here, didn't it mean that she would have a chance to take revenge? Even the heavens wanted to fulfill her wish. How lucky was she? No, Linglong, the Green Phoenix wanted to stop Tu Linglong. She instinctively felt the power of Xia Ping's aura. It was like a mountain, huge and unshakable. She was no match for this human. But it was already too late because Tu Linglong had already kicked him away. Whoosh! The speed of this kick was unimaginably fast. It contained the power of space, causing ripples to appear in the surrounding space. It was extremely powerful. Moreover, it contained the power of the time-space rabbit's bloodline. The leg strength was also extremely terrifying. Even a 10,000-meter-tall mountain would be easily crushed by it. Not to mention, this kick also contained the power of space. If it was an ordinary person, they wouldn't be able to withstand this kick at all. They would be easily sent flying. However, Xia Ping was no ordinary person. He was a Golden Core Realm perfected being. He had once killed a returning Truth Realm mighty being. Although the power of Tu Linglong's kick was indeed great, unpredictable, and contained the power of space, it was still as slow as a snail under his divine sense. He raised his hand and patted down lightly. This palm instantly landed on Tu Linglong's right foot. Dong! In the next second, Tu Linglong's entire body was hit by an unparalleled terrifying power. She was instantly slapped to the ground, creating a deep pit that was several meters wide. The entire courtyard was shaking and shaking crazily. However, Xia Ping showed mercy. With Tu Linglong's divine beast physique, this power didn't hurt her body. She climbed out of the deep pit in an instant. How is this possible? Tu Linglong was dumbfounded. Aren't you only divine power realm? How could he easily block my kick and even defeat it? She simply couldn't imagine that such a thing would happen. Divine power realm? I haven't been one for a long time. Xia Ping smiled, revealing his white teeth. At the same time, a terrifying aura erupted from his body. The faint shadow of a golden core appeared above his head. It spun and emitted a golden light. The aura condensed and materialized like a planet. Golden Core Realm. Tu Linglong sat on the ground in shock. She was dumbfounded and couldn't believe her eyes. This. Chapter 1603. Are you a monster? Why is your golden core so big? Tu Linglong was dumbfounded. She knew about the Golden Core Realm, but an ordinary golden core was only the size of a cobblestone, and a monster's was only the size of an egg. But what was going on with this bastard's golden core? It was 70 to 80 meters in diameter, like a meteorite. It was so big that it was scary. Was this still a golden core? Did he stuff a rock in it? If such a golden core was thrown out, how powerful would it be? Isn't it better for a man's things to be bigger? Big is good. Xia Ping said casually. Bah, pervert. Tu Linglong's pretty face suddenly turned red, and her beautiful eyes glared at Xia Ping. This bastard was still the same as before, so shameless. However, she found it unimaginable and couldn't believe it even now. This was because in order to advance to the treasure refinement realm, she had experienced countless dangers and had even cultivated in a secret realm for 300 years before she had her current achievements. Although as a divine beast, because of her long lifespan, her cultivation speed was originally slower than humans, but it shouldn't be this slow. 300 years, and this guy surpassed it in 2 years, and also advanced to the Golden Core Realm. Was he still human? She was so depressed that she wanted to vomit blood. Originally, she wanted to bully this bastard human and make him beg for mercy, but now she was bullied by this shameless human. It was too unfair. What kind of adventure did this guy go through all these years? Could it be more amazing than the adventure in the Demon Saint Temple? Wait, you appeared in this place. Are you the recently wanted monk, Wu Wudi? Suddenly, the Green Phoenix thought of something that everyone on the streets knew. Tu Linglong also came to her senses. According to this bastard's unscrupulous and lawless personality, it was very likely that this was done by this bastard. Although the portrait on the wanted poster was different from Xia Ping, there were countless secret techniques in the universe, and there were many ways to change one's appearance. Appearance was nothing at all. How is it possible? I am a good person, how can I be the wanted criminal Wu Wudi? Xia Ping said righteously. Good my ass. If you were a good person, there would be no bad people in the world. Tu Linglong said disdainfully. She was more and more certain that this was done by this bastard human. Since the Cloud Realm, there was nothing that this bastard human did not dare to do. All right, I admit it. I was the one who did it. Yesterday, I accidentally killed that 9-headed bird young master and ended up being wanted. I only wanted to send him to see Buddha and cleanse his sins. It's not a bad thing. Why would the 9-headed bird race chase after me? They don't have any magnanimity at all. Xia Ping shook his head and sighed. Qing Wan was speechless. She had already killed his young master, yet she still didn't allow him to put a bounty on her. Just who was the one with no tolerance? However, she was also shocked because she had heard of the 9-headed bird young master's name. He was at least at the middle stage of the returning nature realm and was surrounded by countless elite guards. However, he was still killed by Xia Ping. One could imagine that Xia Ping's current combat strength was absolutely terrifying. This human was becoming more and more unfathomable after not seeing him for several years. Ha, so you did it. I'm going to expose you and get a huge reward from the 9-headed bird. Tu Linglong laughed heartily. If you don't want to be exposed, then listen to me obediently and become my subordinate. She was very proud because she thought that she had something on this despicable human. You still want to expose me? We are all accomplices. If you expose me, won't you all be finished as well? Xia Ping said with disdain. Bullshit, when did we become accomplices? Don't slander me and maliciously frame me. Tu Linglong was going crazy. Xia Ping said lazily, if I say so, then so. How can there be such a good thing in this world? Of course, you can also clarify things with the 9-headed bird race and see if they believe you. This. Tu Linglong gritted her teeth. According to the thoughts of these major forces, they would naturally kill as many as they could. Who would listen to the thoughts of the weak? She had no background and no one to support her. Moreover, she didn't dare to bet that the 9-headed bird race would believe her words. Who would bet their lives on the hope that the other party wouldn't kill them? She was no longer that naive rookie from before. She knew the cruelty of the universe. Blackmail. You are clearly blackmailing us. You are forcibly blackmailing us. Tu Linglong was furious. If they got involved with this bastard, wouldn't they become wanted criminals as well? They would provoke the 9-headed bird race for no reason and become their mortal enemy. This was simply like a person sitting at home and the pot falling from the sky. They were obviously taking the blame for Xia Ping. They were extremely unlucky. Qing Wan was also gnashing her teeth. She wanted to tear apart this shameless human's face. She had never seen such a shameless person. He actually wanted to drag a few people down with him after he died. He was simply a scourge. Moreover, he was the kind that harmed others and himself. He had nothing better to do all day and only knew how to cause trouble. He even liked to implicate others. Well, in short, let the three of us get along well. Who asked us to be the accomplices of the 9-headed bird young master? Moreover, you guys are the ones who plotted this in the dark, the real mastermind behind the scenes. The reason is that the 9-headed bird young master is shameless and lecherous. He once flirted with you on the street. As a result, you guys bore a grudge and sent me to kill the 9-headed bird young master. Xia Ping had already thought of 2 reasons for Tu Linglong and Qing Wan to make a move. He put his arms around their slender waists and hugged them together. They looked like good brothers who would go through life and death with each other. Shameless human, who is the mastermind behind the scenes? Don't accuse others as you can. Tu Linglong was furious. She couldn't wait to punch this bastard human's face. Even though they hadn't seen each other for several years, this guy was still as annoying as before. Don't worry. I will go and spread the rumor later. I will say that the wanted criminal has accomplices and is the mastermind behind the scenes. I am very familiar with this matter. I guarantee that it will be done properly. Xia Ping said with a smile. Bastard! Qing Wan gritted her teeth and clenched her fists. She felt that her state of mind, which was like an ancient pond, was broken. She gritted her teeth and had the urge to eat Xia Ping like a meat bun. Who didn't know this bastard's ability to spread rumors? He was used to it in the cloud realm. He was a habitual offender. What he liked to do the most was to fan the flames and sow discord. He was a proper treacherous official. The problem was that this bastard human's martial strength was a little abnormal. He was suspected to be an expert who could kill a returning nature realm expert. If they really fought, they would probably be at a disadvantage. Even if they couldn't kill a returning nature realm expert, they wouldn't be a match for him with the martial strength of the golden elixir realm. They could only suffer losses at every turn. They had worked so hard for so long just to take revenge on this human. Who would have thought that they would still be completely dominated by this human? Even now, they had to help this bastard human take the blame. Was there still justice in this world? Why didn't the heavens send down a lightning tribulation to kill this scourge? Chapter 1604. Half an hour later, Xia Ping, Tu Linglong, and Cyan Wan reached an agreement, stating that they were a team for the time being and that they would get along well during the trip to the Dragonwood secret realm. They would not report Xia Ping, and Xia Ping would not spread rumors and turn them into fugitives. Why did you come to the Dragonwood secret realm? Is it also for the Dragonwood source? Xia Ping asked curiously, wanting to know their purpose. The Dragonwood source is naturally our main goal this time. It contains pure energy and can purify the bloodline of the mythical beasts in our bodies. It is extremely beneficial. Cyan Wan said, but that is only one of the main goals. After all, there are countless treasures in the Dragonwood secret realm, including some powerful treasures left behind by some martial arts masters, as well as 10,000-year-old spirit herbs. There are many benefits. Oh, it seems like you are very familiar with the Dragonwood secret realm. Tell me more. Xia Ping's eyes lit up. Although he knew some basic information about the Dragonwood secret realm, he did not know the specifics. You came to the Dragonwood secret realm without knowing anything? Tu Linglong understood what Xia Ping was trying to say. I knew there were treasures here, so I came. Wherever there are treasures in this world, Xia Ping will be there. Xia Ping said carelessly. Tu Linglong was completely speechless at this thick-headed human. She had never met someone who liked to court death so much, daring to come here without knowing anything. All right, since you don't know anything, I will tell you more about the Dragonwood secret realm. The Blue Phoenix was helpless. But now that they were all in the same boat, she could only let this bastard know some information about the Dragonwood secret realm. Otherwise, this bastard would go around looking for danger after entering the Dragonwood secret realm. She said in a low voice, the Dragonwood secret realm has existed since ancient times. It used to be a secret base of the dragon race, also known as Titania's Laboratory Number 32. What? Titania? Xia Ping's eyes flashed. He did not expect to hear Titania's name in this place. You know the mad scientist Titania of the dragon race? Cyan Wan looked at Xia Ping. Xia Ping nodded and said calmly, yes, I have heard a little about her. I heard she is one of the 10 most wanted criminals in the universe. I see. The Green Phoenix did not suspect anything and continued, and this secret realm used to be Titania's secret laboratory. It said that she conducted extremely dangerous experiments here and created a terrifying monster, the kind that can't be killed. In the end, the sages found out about this laboratory. Dozens of sages joined forces with countless powerful beings and immediately tried to stop them. As a result, a world-destroying battle broke out between the two sides. That battle had been too tragic. Countless powerful beings had fallen in that battle, and even a few saints had died. However, Titania had still managed to escape. Furthermore, the monsters created in this laboratory were immortal existences that not even saints could kill. However, once they escape from this place, they would bring disaster to the world. Thus, the Dragonwood Arcane Realm became the place where the monster was sealed. Every 100 years, the Arcane Realm would open its seal and invite experts from all over the universe to come and kill the spawn of the monster to weaken its power. Of course, this was also one of the gifts left behind by the sages. They hoped to use this secret realm to train their descendants and give countless creatures some opportunities to evolve. At this point, she paused and continued, however, even though Titania has left this secret realm, there are still many secrets hidden in this secret realm. There are many spatial strongholds hidden in the void that even saints can't find. There are even many powerful restrictions and killing arrays left in the secret realm. If not careful, even saints will be killed. That's why this place is filled with danger. It's said that there used to be a saint who wanted to explore this place, but he accidentally fell into a trap here and was instantly sent to the endless void by a large array. He hasn't returned to this day, and no one knows if he's dead or alive. Her expression was solemn, indicating that the danger of this place was beyond imagination. After all, this was the lair of a terrifying wanted criminal who had once fought against a saint. Some of the methods left behind were extremely terrifying, and not something ordinary people could imagine. An immortal monster. What kind of monster is it? Xia Ping was very curious. Based on Titania's methods, it was probably an incredible monster. That's what I heard, the Cyan Phoenix said in a low voice. It said that she captured a Tao Tai and combined the power of the Taotia's bloodline with the power of the Sucking Blood clan's bloodline and the bloodlines of many wild beasts. As a result, she created an incredible monster. First of all, it has the characteristics of immortality and has no intelligence. Even if it's beaten into molecular form, it can absorb the power of the void to regenerate. Second, it has the terrifying infectiousness of the Sucking Blood clan, even amplified by thousands of times. Once it bites through the skin and infects you, you will immediately become its offspring and become a monster like this. This process is irreversible and incurable. The most shocking thing is that it also has the terrifying devouring ability of the Tao Tai. It's greedy and destructive. It can strengthen its body by devouring all kinds of substances without any bottlenecks and can constantly evolve. If this monster is allowed to grow, I'm afraid it will become something that can even kill saints in the future. It can even infect saints. There's no doubt that this is the ultimate monster that can destroy the universe. An interstellar version of Resident Evil? Xia Ping was shocked. Although he knew that Titania was a universe-level wanted criminal and extremely dangerous, he didn't expect her to be this dangerous. Something she made casually had the power to destroy the universe. No wonder so many saints were after her. This kind of scientific research ability was terrifying. Also, she didn't care about killing or burying people. After she made it, there were no countermeasures, and a large group of saints had to clean up the mess for her. One could imagine the hatred and resentment many saints had for Titania. She was definitely an extremely dangerous saint who had the power to destroy the universe. What's the monster's name? Xia Ping asked. Zombie Beast. The Green Phoenix answered. One day later, Dragonwood Star started to tremble. One after another, great formations appeared in the sky, and the power of the void permeated the surroundings. Immediately, a gate appeared. The frame of the gate was engraved with dark golden patterns. It was mysterious and unfathomable. Behind the door, a mysterious world opened. The Dragonwood secret realm is open. It's finally starting. I've waited for 100 years. This time, I must go in and find the opportunity to break through. The door to the secret realm has been opened. Go in immediately before someone else gets the first prize. Chapter 1605. The Dragonwood secret realm is finally open. We must get our hands on the Dragonwood source this time. That's right. The Dragonwood source is extremely beneficial to the purification of our bloodline. We must not let it go. Anyone who dares to stop me will die. I will kill without mercy. There will be no mercy. Let's go. Don't let the others get ahead of us. On Dragonwood Star, the elites of the various races were discussing excitedly. Immediately, they channeled their powers into the Dragonwood Spirit Talisman and activated the internal formation of the talisman. In the next second, their bodies were surrounded by a ball of energy, and they were sucked into the space door. Swoosh! 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 Beams of light shot out from all directions and entered the space door of the Dragonwood Secret Realm. They were like hungry dogs fighting for food, afraid that someone else would get there first. Right now, in the base of the nine-headed bird tribe, many elders were gathered. Damn it! It's been 2 days and we still can't find any news of the culprit. They're all good-for-nothings. The nine-headed bird king was fuming. He had thought that the global bounty would definitely lead to the culprit's capture. But now, there was no news of the culprit at all. It was as if the culprit had vanished into thin air. Leader, the culprit's concealment skills are top-notch. It's normal that we can't find him. That's right. But leader, you don't have to worry. The culprit must have come to Dragonwood Star to enter the Dragonwood Secret Realm. There's no way he'll give up on that. That's right. As long as he enters the Dragonwood Secret Realm, he'll definitely give himself away. That will be the day he dies. No one will be able to save him. The Dragonwood Secret Realm will be open for at least 3 months. Within 3 months, we'll definitely find the bald donkey. There's no way he'll be able to escape. He's dead for sure. Leader, let's hurry in. Even though finding the culprit is important, getting our hands on the Dragonwood source is equally important. If our enemies get their hands on a large amount of the Dragonwood source, we'll be doomed. We can't allow that to happen. Many of the nine-headed bird elders discussed among themselves. Forget it. We'll let the culprit live for now. Once I find him, no matter where he goes, I'll catch up and kill him. The nine-headed bird king coldly snorted and immediately activated the Dragonwood talisman. Although his son didn't have a Dragonwood spirit talisman, as the clan leader, he still had 2 or 3 of them. After all, the Dragonwood secret realm was an extremely important treasure ground. There were a lot of treasures inside, and the clan's elite combat power had to be mobilized to ensure the harvest. In the nine-headed bird clan, only those who were at least in the Transcendence realm were qualified to enter. Even if Duan Mukang's identity was honorable, he would not be able to do so. After all, he was only at the returning true realm. Entering this secret realm could guarantee that he would not die, but it could not guarantee that he would be able to obtain great rewards. Therefore, those who entered the Dragonwood secret realm this time were basically all elders of the nine-headed bird race, powerful existences above the Transcendence realm. At this time, Xia Ping, Tu Linglong, and Qing Wan, who were staying in the courtyard, naturally sensed the spatial gate in the sky and immediately knew that this was the time to enter the Dragonwood secret realm. In order to avoid being separated, Xia Ping didn't use his Dragonwood spirit talisman. Instead, the Blue One used her Dragonwood spirit talisman to wrap Xia Ping and Tu Linglong up and enter together. Whoosh! In just a few breaths' time, they had passed through the void and finally arrived at the Dragonwood secret realm. This is the Dragonwood secret realm? Xia Ping immediately realized that he had passed through the spatial gate and was randomly teleported to various corners of the Dragonwood secret realm. He, Tu Linglong, and the Blue One landed in a forest. This place was a forest that stretched as far as the eye could see. In the distance, there were mountains that rose and fell, like giant dragons lying on the ground. Moreover, the air was filled with dense spiritual qi and the aura of a true dragon. With just a slight breath, one could feel that their body was being tempered by the dragon qi, and their flesh and blood were slowly becoming stronger. That's right, no wonder there's dragon qi here. This used to be the place where the true dragon lived, so it's only natural that there's dragon qi here. Xia Ping also immediately remembered that this was Titania's laboratory number 32, the place where the dragon sage once lived. It was only natural that there would be a large amount of dragon chi here. Let's head north, there might be a dragon wood source there. The blue wand spoke. She activated her bloodline ability, and her sixth sense told her that if they headed north, they might be able to obtain great benefits. Wait, there seems to be a treasure here. Xia Ping waved his hand, and his divine sense scanned the surroundings, penetrating the void like purple lightning. He could sense that there seemed to be a powerful magic treasure hidden in the void nearby. He gathered his divine sense and immediately saw the void at the top of a small mountain in the distance. There seemed to be a magic treasure hidden in there, and it was exuding a powerful aura. It was a cauldron that was emerald green in color. There were dense runes engraved on its surface, and it was surrounded by crimson flames like a blazing sun. A supreme spirit artifact. This was definitely a supreme spirit artifact, second only to a sage artifact. Magic treasures of this level were also known as half-step sage artifacts because they had the potential to become sage artifacts. Master, this is the true Sun Copper Cauldron, a famous supreme spirit artifact for alchemy. The green ox also sensed the waves emitted by this magic treasure, and its tone was very excited. If I can obtain this alchemy magic treasure, I will definitely be able to concoct even more supreme-grade medicinal pills. I can even use it to cook food, turning the ingredients into real medicinal cuisine, and the medicinal effects will increase by at least 30%. I must obtain this magic treasure. There will be endless benefits for me. The true Sun Copper Cauldron. Xia Ping's eyes brightened. He didn't think that he would have the chance to obtain a supreme spirit artifact so soon after entering the Dragonwood secret realm. This supreme spirit artifact's appearance would probably make even those in the Thunder Tribulation realm go crazy. But before he could act, a group of people suddenly appeared beside him. They were the elites of the Western Universe's White Tiger race, and their leader was a young expert of the White Tiger race, Hu Rong, who was in the middle stage of the returning reality realm. Other than that, there were more than 10 elites of the White Tiger race beside him, and they were all at least in the Golden Core realm. There were also 6 or 7 young experts of the returning reality realm. Look, there's a strange spatial wave here. My God, there's a supreme spirit artifact here. Ha, we've only just entered the Dragonwood secret realm, and I didn't expect to have such a miraculous encounter. Our luck is really too good. The heavens are indeed blessing the White Tiger race. It's time for our White Tiger race to shine like the sun in the sky. Let's do it, refine this magic treasure. The experts of the White Tiger race were all extremely excited as they attacked one after another. With one punch, the supreme spirit artifact, the true Sun Copper Cauldron, which was hidden in the void, appeared. Chapter 1606. It was obvious that the power of the Sun True Bronze Cauldron had been completely activated. It grew to a height of 100 meters, like a small mountain. It floated in the air, emitting endless flames that burned fiercely. These were flames that came from the essence of the sun. They were very powerful. Cultivators with low cultivation could not even get within 30 meters of it. Otherwise, they would be burned to ashes. It was an ultimate spiritual weapon. It was not an inanimate object. It had a very strong spiritual nature, like a life of its own. It was basically impossible for ordinary cultivators to tame it. Ha, an ultimate spiritual weapon has appeared here. We are so lucky. The Sucking Blood clan is in luck today. At that moment, the vibration of the ultimate spiritual weapon shook the area, attracting the attention of a force in the distance. Whoosh! 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 The group of people appeared immediately. They had a pair of black wings on their backs, fangs in their mouths, and were wearing black suits. They were the famous Sucking Blood clan of the Western Universe. It was said that they lived by sucking blood. If they could absorb the blood of a powerful creature, their strength would increase dramatically, and their potential would increase. This made them a terrifying killing clan in the Western Universe. The elite Sucking Blood clan was not weak either. The leader was a powerful vampire in the middle stage of the returning nature realm called Raj. He had a dozen companions with him. They were no weaker than the White Tiger clan. Raj, this peerless grade spirit weapon was discovered by my White Tiger race. It's a treasure that belongs to my White Tiger race. Scram immediately, don't force me to flip out. Hu Rong shouted angrily, warning this group of vampires. He obviously knew this vampire called Raj. After all, those who entered the Dragonwood's secret realm were all elites of the Western universe. They had been dealing with each other for a long time. It was impossible for them not to know each other. Hu Rong, it's not that you're amazing just because you speak loudly. Your White Tiger clan is the first to discover this magic treasure. I even said that this magic treasure was left behind by my ancestor. If you want to snatch this magic treasure, you have to rely on your own ability. Don't blabber here, your White Tiger clan won't just talk, right? Raj sneered. Raj, I'm giving you face, but you don't want it, do you? You dare to snatch the magic treasure in front of my White Tiger clan. This is stealing food from the tiger's mouth, seeking your own death. Hu Rong bellowed, and immediately attacked the vampire Raj. Rumble. The two sides immediately engaged in a fierce battle, blasting out thousands of killer moves. They collided with each other in the air, causing a series of explosions, causing the surrounding mountains to collapse. All of them wanted to seize the Sun True Copper Cauldron, but both sides were evenly matched, mutually restraining each other. No one could seize the upper hand. They fought until the heavens collapsed and the earth split apart, both of them truly angry. In the distance, Xia Ping, Tu Linglong, and the Azure One witnessed this scene as well. Let's hurry up and escape. The other party has the advantage in numbers. We won't be able to obtain this magic treasure. The Green One said calmly. She had weighed the strength of both sides. There was no way they could snatch food from the tiger's mouth. Even though she wanted to get her hands on that supreme-grade spirit weapon, she knew that with her current strength, there was no way she could go against this group of powerful beings. Therefore, she could only choose to give up. I'm warning you, don't seek death. These are two great races of the Western cosmos, and they have countless elites. Tu Linglong looked at Xia Ping vigilantly. If we provoke them, it's like poking a beehive. We have to be careful and keep a low profile during this trip to the Dragonwood secret realm. Don't cause any trouble. It's best if we become invisible and sneak away with the Dragonwood source. Is there such a thing? Isn't that very interesting? Xia Ping's eyes lit up. That bastard. Tu Linglong was so angry that she almost choked on her breath. This guy was indeed up to no good, and he was the kind of person who wanted to see the world in chaos. At this moment, another force charged out from the east. All of you, scram. This magic treasure will be taken by the Elephant Clan. Anyone who dares to stand in our way will be killed without mercy. Immediately, a giant elephant stepped out from the void. He looked like a human and was 5 meters tall. He had thick arms and legs, but his trunk was an elephant's trunk. Dense runes appeared all over his body, and he exuded the aura of the mountain gang. He held a giant axe in his hand. That was the supreme-grade spirit weapon of the Elephant Clan, Heaven-Splitting Axe. Boom! The axe descended from the sky. One after another, runes came crashing down, converging into a terrifying black light that seemed as if it was going to split the sky in half. Damn it! This is Xiang Tao, a master of the Elephant Clan. He was born with extraordinary strength. We can't fight him. Retreat. The masters of the Sucking Blood Clan and the White Tiger Clan all turned pale when they saw Xiang Tao. They felt an unparalleled force coming toward them. Together with the power of the supreme-grade spirit weapon, the Heaven-Splitting Axe, it was enough to kill a master at the returning nature realm. This was an unstoppable force. The two forces didn't dare to take it head-on. They quickly retreated and ran far away to avoid it. Dong! The black light came crashing down. The earth was torn apart immediately, and a crack that was thousands of miles long appeared. Along the way, thousands of mountains were torn apart, as if the mountain had been split in half. There was even a terrifying sharp aura around the crack. It seemed as if swords and knives were colliding. Cultivators with low cultivation would be torn apart by the light of the giant axe in an instant. Damn it! The supreme grade spirit weapon of the elephant clan is in Xiang Tao's hands. How did he get it? This won't do. Xiang Tao's bloodline is amazing, and he was born with extraordinary strength. He is invincible among his peers. Together with the supreme grade spirit weapon, the heaven-splitting axe, he is invincible. He can kill anyone who stands in his way. This is too overbearing. He alone can force our two clans to retreat. We have no choice but to retreat. Now Xiang Tao is sure to win. If we fight him here, it will be a life-and-death battle. It will be a waste of our combat power. How can we get the dragonwood source? Damn it! Looks like we have to avoid him for now. We can't fight him to death here. This boorish man is lucky. It doesn't matter. There are so many treasures in the dragonwood secret land. There can't be only one supreme grade spirit weapon. There will be more benefits later. The elite warriors of the Sucking Blood clan and the White Tiger clan looked awful. Facing the wild elephant wave, they had to temporarily avoid it and choose to endure it. Get out of here. Do you want to die? Do you want to be killed by my axe? Xiang Tao was extremely overbearing. He immediately told the two clans to get out. Hearing that, the Sucking Blood clan and the White Tiger clan flew into a rage. They wanted to fight Xiang Tao. They would rather die than be humiliated. If they retreated here, they would become a laughingstock in the future. Whoosh! 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 However, right at that moment, many strong auras came from afar. The earth shook. Many strong fighters of the elephant clan came at the same time. There were at least a dozen of them. The appearance of those strong fighters of the elephant clan immediately extinguished the desire of the Sucking Blood clan and the White Tiger clan to fight. With those strong fighters of the elephant clan there, they had no hope of winning. Ha, this true sun bronze tripod is mine. With these two supreme grade spirit weapons, I can do whatever I want in the dragonwood secret land as long as I don't run into some old monsters. Xiang Tao laughed. He reached out his hand, trying to take the tripod away. Whoosh! Chapter 1607. Bastard, this guy really jumped out. I knew he was unreliable and always stirred up trouble. Seeing Xia Ping jump out, Tu Linglong was furious. But why did he turn into a bald donkey? Right, this guy is doing bad things. He is afraid that his identity will be discovered, so he changed his identity. What a shameless human being. How could he do such a thing? Apparently, she noticed that Xia Ping looked completely different from before. He had completely turned into a bald donkey of the Luo Han people. What a powerful disguise. I can't see anything wrong with him. Cyan Wan was amazed. She had the Cyan Wan eyes, which could see through the illusions of the world. Ordinary secret skills could not fool her. However, she still couldn't see through Xia Ping's disguise with her Cyan Wan eyes. If she hadn't known that this guy was Xia Ping, she would have thought it was someone else. She wouldn't have associated it with Xia Ping at all. Whatever disguise he used, this bastard human is stirring up trouble here. We'd better run away quickly in case we get into trouble and get chased by these angry people. Tu Linglong was worried that if they waited any longer, they would also become accomplices and be chased by the enemies. Don't worry. If this human dares to go out, he must be confident. Let's wait and see. Cyan Wan was not in a hurry. She planned to wait and see. She thought Xia Ping was not such a stupid human being. He knew the situation was dangerous, but he still went out to die. She guessed that this human being was completely confident, which was why he dared to do this. She wanted to know what other trump cards Xia Ping had. Who is it? How dare you take food from the tiger's mouth in front of me? Do you want to die? At this time, Xiang Tao also noticed Xia Ping's appearance. He shouted angrily. He had used the power of the peerless spiritual weapon Sky-Opening Axe to split the ground, tear apart the 100,000 mountains, and intimidate the White Tigers and the Sucking Blood clan. He thought he could monopolize this peerless spiritual weapon, the Sun Copper Cauldron. He didn't expect that someone would dare to stand out and take food from the tiger's mouth at this time. This was outrageous. If he didn't kill a few people, couldn't he show the terror and strength of the Elephant Clan? Please calm down, benefactor. I have no choice but to come out now. Xia Ping clasped his hands in front of him and said, "This peerless spirit weapon, the true Sun Copper Cauldron, is an extremely valuable treasure of our Buddhist sect. It was stolen from our treasury and was stolen by a thief. Since it is fated with the Buddhist sect, I have come here to retrieve it. I hope that benefactor can make things easier for me." He had a compassionate expression on his face. He didn't look like he was here to rob, but to beg for alms and take back what belonged to him. Hearing this, Xiang Tao was so angry that he laughed. Buddhist supreme treasure. This solar true bronze cauldron is a peerless spirit artifact. It was once the life-bound treasure of an alchemy grandmaster. It does not have the slightest aura of a Buddhist treasure. You actually have the nerve to say that it came from the Buddhist sect's treasury and that it is fated with the Buddhist sect? I'm fated with your 18 generations of ancestors. Do you still have any shame? Almsgiver, you're mistaken. Xia Ping's expression was still calm and unfathomable. The word fate is very mysterious. It represents cause and effect, and every cause has its effect. Didn't you and I meet because of fate? This poor monk knows a thing or two about divination. This item has an ominous omen, and if you try to snatch it away, there will be a bloody calamity. This is an ominous item, and ordinary people shouldn't touch it. It's better for you to hand it over to this poor monk and refine it day and night to eliminate its evil nature. He was trying to dissuade the other party out of goodwill. Bloody calamity? Bloody my ass. Anyone who dares to fight with my elephant clan for treasures can only die. If it's an enemy, there will be a bloody calamity, but we definitely won't. Bald donkey, you actually dare to speak alarmist words here? Looks like you're courting death. Xiang Tao's expression turned savage, and he wanted to kill Xia Ping with his axe. Almsgiver, this item is not fated with you. Why must you force it? Xia Ping sighed. As the saying goes, karma is born, karma is destroyed. Those who are not fated will never be able to obtain it no matter what. Almsgiver, you should just let it go. Drop the butcher's knife and you will become a Buddha. Drop your ass. Take my axe and don't die. Xiang Tao was infuriated, and he couldn't be bothered to talk nonsense with this bald donkey. The heaven-splitting axe slashed down from the sky, and a terrifying black axe light descended, tearing everything in its path. Ah, almsgiver, if you want to kill, you will be punished by heaven. Why do you have to do this? Xia Ping sighed. He operated the divine elephant breathing technique. His blood was boiling, and his heart was beating like a war drum, making elephant trumpeting. It was as if a divine elephant was born in his body. He suddenly raised his hand. It was as if a divine elephant's giant hand had reached out, and it condensed in the air. It turned into a giant dark golden hand, which had many mysterious formations on it, containing the divine elephant's aura. Dong! The palm slapped hard on the black axe light. It was obvious that the axe was unstoppable, and it could split the 100,000 mountains in half. The elites of the White Tiger clan and the Sucking Blood clan were so scared that they fled. However, facing this palm, the axe could not break it. It was as if it had encountered a strong obstacle. No matter how hard it tried, it could not break through the giant palm's power. It even vaguely felt a terrifying counterforce, which made Xiang Tao's hand go numb. Impossible. You are just a bald donkey from the Luo Han clan. How can you know the elephant clan's martial arts? You seem to have the divine elephant's power. Where on earth did you learn it? Xiang Tao was extremely shocked because he felt a pulse in his bloodline from Xia Ping. It seemed that the bloodline of the ancient divine elephant clan had been revived and was about to rule the world. Sensing this aura, he was so scared that his legs almost turned to jelly. He almost prostrated on the ground. He was no match for Yi Futian. Our Buddhist martial arts have the power to subdue dragons and subdue elephants. The elephant clan's martial arts are nothing. Why don't we call it quits? I will take this magic treasure back to the Buddhist clan to purify the evil qi. When the evil qi is purified, I will bring it back to you, Xia Ping suggested. Bring it back? Do you think I can get it back if you really take it away? This is like throwing a meat bun at a dog. It will never come back. Do you think the elephant clan is stupid? Do you think we will believe you just because you said a few words? An elite of the elephant clan cursed loudly. He had seen through Xia Ping's shameless trick. Tu Linglong and Cyan Wan were speechless when they saw this. This bastard human was really all-pervasive, trying to take advantage of others. He had almost tricked them into taking a magic treasure. If this bastard had really taken away the supreme rank spirit tool, it would have been impossible for him to return it. Don't play dumb here. I know all the Buddhist clan's martial arts very well. There is no martial art as powerful as this one that can evolve the divine elephant's power. Xiang Tao's eyes lit up. I can feel that your martial arts are of great benefit to the elephant clan. It is an opportunity for me to evolve. It is a fortuitous encounter. When I capture you and interrogate you about the martial arts, you will know how powerful it is. He felt that his opportunity to break through had come. As long as he could capture this bald donkey and interrogate him about the elephant clan's martial arts, he would definitely obtain endless benefits. Advancing to the Transcendence realm would also be just around the corner. Everyone, let's attack together and help me capture this bald donkey alive. Chapter 1608. The elites of the elephant clan looked at each other and moved immediately. They spread out and formed a formation. Xiang Tao was in the center of the formation. Terrifying mana gathered around him. Rumble suddenly, Xiang Tao's body swelled up and turned into a giant elephant. He was hundreds of meters tall and looked like a towering mountain. It was as if the god of the elephant clan had appeared. A slight movement from him could cause earthquakes and landslides. Every inch of his muscles was filled with explosive power that could shatter stars. Retreat! Retreat! Xiang Tao is going crazy. Xiang Tao is crazy. He is using the ultimate meaning of the mountain-splitting axe of the elephant clan, sky-splitting kill. He can't use a secret skill like this with his current level of cultivation. It's because he can't use it that he needs more than a dozen elites of the elephant clan to provide him with mana. This is a sure kill move. To think that in order to kill off a bald monk, he would spare no expense and expend all of his powers just to capture him alive. Just what sort of treasure does this bald monk have on him that he would be willing to disregard everything like that? I don't know. Retreat now. This move doesn't differentiate between friend and foe. If we stay here, we will be killed as well. We might be seen as enemies and killed by the axe. The elites of the Sucking Blood clan and the White Tiger clan were shocked. They discussed and felt great danger. They quickly retreated more than a dozen miles to avoid the aftermath of the battle and to avoid being involved in the intense vibrations. Die, bald ass! Xiang Tao roared. He infused his mana into the sky-splitting axe and activated the countless formations on it. Suddenly, a terrifying aura filled the air and crushed the sky. He swung the axe at Xia Ping. It was as if Pangu was alive. The mountains around him collapsed and the ground cracked. All the energy within 1,000 miles was shaken away, forming a vacuum. The sky-splitting kill rolled. Under the axe, the mana condensed into one black mark after another. It was as if the sky was being torn apart. It was extremely sharp. These black marks intertwined with each other and formed a huge net of death. When it came down, it could destroy the sky and the earth. This was a sure kill move. There was no chance of survival. Not bad. Xia Ping's eyes shone brightly. His body trembled and all the magic power in his body surged out. With his body as the center, a terrifying energy field was created. The heavens shook and the earth shook, expelling everything. The area within a radius of several kilometers quickly calmed down due to his aura fluctuations. Black Vortex Ripple Fist. This was a supreme killer move that Xia Ping had created after comprehending the Saint-Tier ultimate technique, Profundity Spiral. After he advanced to the Golden Core realm, his comprehension towards this martial technique had become even deeper, and it had attained the acme of perfection. Rumble he punched out, causing ripples to appear in the void. A nebula vortex spun wildly, containing the power to strangle, devour, and penetrate. Under such a vortex, it was as if a terrifying black hole had formed. This was a cosmic marvel that would only appear when a star collapsed and a neutron star exploded. It contained the true essence of the universe and supreme mysteries. Indistinctly, the nebula vortex spun unceasingly, encompassing everything. It was as if the universe was revolving, with yin and yang, the five elements, earth, wind, water, fire, and other powers appearing one after another. Circles of ripples appeared in the void within a radius of 1,000 kilometers like flowing water, affecting the void. The power of the tremors was extremely terrifying, as if it could destroy everything. In the blink of an eye, the nebula vortex smashed towards Xiang Tao. When Xiang Tao's sky-splitting kill collided with the black vortex ripple fist, it immediately caused a terrifying storm that swept through a radius of 1,000 kilometers. The surrounding cultivators' hair stood on end, and they all retreated 100 kilometers. If not for that, just the aftermath alone would have been enough to severely injure them. Tu Linglong and Qing Wan saw that the situation was not good, so they slipped away in advance, fleeing 100 kilometers away. Dong! A single collision determined the victor. Xia Ping retreated more than 10 kilometers, his body enduring the violent tremors and the attack. However, with his divine beast-like physique, he was unharmed. However, it was different for Xiang Tao. His body was not as strong as Xia Ping's. After suffering such an impact, his body flew back like a cannonball, tumbling in midair. He could not even hold the sky-splitting axe in his hand. His hand went numb, and it fell to the ground just like that. He could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood, which splattered all over the ground. Moreover, because Xiang Tao was defeated, the array formation was broken. The dozen or so elephant race experts also suffered the backlash of the array formation, and a violent yuan qi storm instilled into their bodies. Ah! One by one, the elephant race experts let out shrill screams and spat out a large mouthful of blood. They retreated repeatedly, heavily injured on the spot, and smashed into the ground, creating huge craters. They looked at Xia Ping in horror. They did not expect that the dozen or so elephant race experts working together could not withstand a single blow from this guy. Just what was this bastard's background? Why did he have such martial strength that they had never heard of? No way, Xiang Tao was actually defeated. In the distance, Leiji, Hu Rong, and the others were dumbfounded. They could not imagine such a thing happening. The famous Xiang Tao and the dozen or so elephant race experts had actually been defeated so easily. If word of this got out, it would definitely shake the Western cosmos. Hu Rong, Leiji, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and capture this bald donkey. At that moment, Xiang Tao shouted angrily, if you are willing, Xiang Tao, am willing to give up the ownership of the Sun True Bronze Cauldron and hand it over to you. I, Xiang Tao, will even owe you a favor. I will repay you generously in the future. He shouted at the elites of the Sucking Blood clan and the White Tiger clan, stated his conditions, and lowered his head. What? Xiang Tao actually put down his pride and asked us for help. That's unheard of. It's really rare. It's not as simple as asking for help. According to the overbearing nature of the elephant race, he is willing to give up the Sun True Bronze Cauldron. It seems that this bald donkey has put a lot of pressure on Xiang Tao. This is a worthwhile deal. Not only can we get the Sun True Bronze Cauldron, but we can also gain the friendship and favor of the elephant race. This is a great benefit. Even an ultimate spiritual artifact may not be as good as this. Good. This is great. We have a chance to establish a relationship with the elephant race and become allies. This is a good deal. Moreover, this bald donkey seems to have a big secret on him, which even the elephant race covets. If we can capture him alive, I think we can also get a share of the pie. The benefits are endless. Let's do it. Kill this bald donkey. Hu Rong and Leiji were communicating with each other through divine awareness. They kept discussing the pros and cons of this matter. Soon, they made the decision to kill this mysterious monk. Because this mysterious monk was the biggest threat to them, and he had a lot of secrets on him. If they killed this guy, they could get great benefits. There was no reason not to make this deal. Chapter 1609. They joined forces. Xia Ping frowned. He didn't expect that the White Tiger clan and the Sucking Blood clan would be persuaded by the Elephant clan to attack him at the same time. Of course, with his strength, he was not worried about the threat of these enemies. However, it was difficult to annihilate this group of enemies with his current martial arts magic power. He might have to expose his original martial arts magic power. If someone were to investigate further, his true identity might be exposed. It seems that I have to learn a Buddhist magic power to cover up my martial arts. Xia Ping's eyes flickered. For ordinary people, it was impossible to learn a Buddhist magic power in a short time. However, he had the system's enlightenment. This was not a big deal. As long as he had enough hatred, he could learn it in an instant. It would not take too much effort. System, provide me with a powerful Buddhist mystic art. Xia Ping said to the system. Yes, host, there are a total of 933 Buddhist magic powers. Among them, the most suitable one should be this Buddhist attack magic power, Great Compassion and Mercy Palm, one of the 72 Buddhist unique skills. It requires 500 million hatred points. The system's voice came out. Exchange now. Xia Ping did not hesitate. He had billions of hatred points, and spending 500 million hatred points was nothing at all. Rumble. As soon as the voice fell, a vast amount of information was immediately instilled into Xia Ping's mind. Endless Buddhist martial arts information poured in, quickly gathered, and then condensed into a magic talisman, golden all over. In the depths of the talisman, there seemed to be a phantom of a Buddha, holding an orchid in his hand, exuding the aura of great compassion and mercy, but at the same time, it also contained a terrible evil spirit, like a dragon Arhat. Xia Ping suddenly understood this Buddhist martial arts magic power and understood the fierceness of this martial arts. It was worthy of being one of the 72 Buddhist unique skills. What was compassion? For different people, compassion had different meanings. For killers, the greatest compassion was to let the enemy die painlessly, not even knowing how they died. This was the compassion of killers. Martial arts itself was the way to kill the enemy. No matter what name it was given, it could not get rid of the feeling of killing the enemy. Even Buddhist martial arts, which were known to save all living beings, were the same. On the other hand, the compassionate and compassionate palm was a supreme palm technique that killed enemies. A single palm strike was capable of delivering all living beings from suffering, and the light of Buddha illuminated the world, causing enemies to die unknowingly. It was matchlessly ferocious. In the name of mercy, it allowed the enemy to die painlessly. This was the mercy of Buddha. While Xia Ping was trying to comprehend the mysteries of the merciful and compassionate palm, the elites of the White Tiger clan and the Sucking Blood clan attacked him together and performed thousands of killing moves. Die, bald donkey! Watch my White Tiger gunmetal sword chi! Hu Rong roared explosively, unleashing the White Tiger clan's supreme sword move, White Tiger gunmetal sword chi. This was the terrifying sword chi that their Western White Tiger absorbed, fused into their bodies, and tempered day and night to refine. This sword chi was unstoppable. Hu Rong was not the only one who understood this unique skill. The dozen or so White Tiger clan experts beside him had completely mastered this unique skill of the sword Dao, and terrifying gunmetal sword chi blasted out. Xiao xiao xiao. Beams of golden sword light rushed over. Thousands of lights were like roaring white tigers, tearing the void and forming a huge sword formation. This was a supreme killing move that could destroy heaven and earth. Let's do it together. Set up the Tai Yin blood killing formation. Raj also roared at the dozen or so elites of the Sucking Blood clan around him. They joined hands to set up the Tai Yin blood killing formation. He bit his finger and spat out the essence blood in his body. The other dozen or so elites of the Sucking Blood clan did the same thing and spat out a lot of blood all at once. The blood sprinkled in the void, as if it had come to life and had its own consciousness. It kept wriggling and automatically condensed into many blood-red lines in the void, forming a heaven and earth formation that covered a radius of 1,000 miles. When this great formation was formed, endless evil blood chi and Tai Yin chi in the depths of the void gathered in the center of the formation. Its momentum was also rising and rising. Dong! Just as the baleful blood chi in the formation condensed to the extreme, the boundless baleful blood chi condensed into a huge blood-red sword. Dense blood-red runes appeared on the surface of the sword, wriggling like a dragon. It emitted a powerful aura that contained the power of destruction, corrosion, infection, chaos, and so on. This was the Tai Yin blood-killing sword formed by the formation. It contained strong power and was indestructible. If one was hit by this giant blood-red sword, one would be attacked by the evil blood chi immediately. It was estimated that the enemy would be frozen into an ice sculpture in an instant. Their lungs would be injured, and their bodies would be corroded quickly as if they had been hit by sulfuric acid. This was an extremely vicious move. The forces of the two clans attacked at the same time, attacking Xia Ping together. Merciful and compassionate palm. At the moment when the attack was about to reach him, Xia Ping finally mastered this Buddhist palm technique. His body emitted a dazzling golden light. Like a Buddha descending, he punched out with his palm. Suddenly, many swastikas appeared in the air and gathered in the center of the giant palm, forming many heaven and earth formations. The shadow of a Buddha vaguely appeared in the center of the giant palm. When this palm was punched out, Sanskrit chants came from the depths of the void, shaking heaven and earth. Dong! First, the gunmetal sword chi of the White Tiger clan was shattered by this palm in an instant. Clanging sounds rang out, as if many precious swords had been shattered. They could not withstand such a shocking force. Then, the Tai Yin blood-killing sword of the Sucking Blood clan tried to cut the giant golden palm. However, the killing sword emitted a dazzling Buddhist light, which dispelled the evil. When it touched the Tai Yin blood-killing sword, it melted quickly like snow meeting fire, making sizzling sounds. In just a few breaths, the Tai Yin blood-killing formation was broken. What kind of Buddhist magic is this? How is this possible? Just one palm strike was enough to break our divine ability formation? Damn it! This bald ass's combat capability is extraordinary. This time, we've run into a tough one. Both Leiji and Hu Rong were shocked. The elites of the two clans had joined hands to attack this guy, but he had easily blocked their attacks and turned them into nothingness. This was too exaggerated. Especially the elites of the Sucking Blood clan, they could feel that Xia Ping's martial arts magic had a great restraining effect on dark creatures with Yin attributes like them. It was like they were natural enemies. Under the illumination of the Buddha's light, it would be amazing if they could exert 70% of their strength. As the Buddha's light weakened, they were completely at a disadvantage. The elites of the two clans joined hands and still couldn't kill him. When Xiang Tao and the other elites of the elephant clan saw this, they could not help but be shocked. They had thought that the two clans would be able to capture Yi Futian easily. They did not expect such an unimaginable situation to occur. All of a sudden, they wanted to retreat. Such a terrifying Luo Han warrior would not be so easy to kill. Chapter 16:10. Looks like all of you have already entered the path of the devil. If you don't get purified by the Buddha, you won't be able to turn back. Xia Ping looked at the elites of the three races and had a compassionate expression on his face. Don't worry, I will set all of you free now and let you enter the pure land of ultimate bliss. This is also the mercy of the Buddha. Boom! The moment his words landed, he slapped out another palm. It was the merciful palm of the Buddhist sect. But the power of this palm was more than 10 times more terrifying than before. Because he circulated the divine elephant breathing technique, his body contained the power of the divine elephant. Then, he used the merciful palm. The power of the two merged and created a chemical effect. The power of the palm received a terrifying increase. It couldn't be compared to before. Damn it, this bald donkey dares to kill us. Hu Rong of the White Tiger race was shocked because this palm was obviously targeted at him. It slapped down towards the elites of the White Tiger race. It was ferocious and had endless killing intent. They could feel the terror of this palm. The giant golden palm was condensed with densely packed Buddhist runes. When combined together, it was like a Buddhist scripture that contained supreme power. The giant golden palm smashed down like the strike of the Buddha, destroying the world and suppressing the heavens. They couldn't resist it at all. But when they tried to dodge, suddenly, the aura of the giant golden palm spread out in the surroundings. A wave of Buddhist aura instantly entered the depths of their consciousness. At this moment, their souls and consciousness were taken away. Their bodies felt warm as if their souls had left their bodies and entered the pure land of ultimate bliss. An ethereal voice rang out in the depths of their minds, "Silly child, let it go, let it go. Only by letting it go can we escape from the sea of bitterness, away from our worries, and become a Buddha." This was the voice of the Buddhist sect scripture. It was like the sound of the morning bell and the evening drum. It rang out and seeped into their souls. Right, we have to let it go. What success, what wealth and glory, they are all just illusions. After death, we are just a cup of dust, a set of bones. Everything in the past is just like smoke. Then what are we fighting for? What is there to fight for? There is no point at all. Numerous elites of the White Tiger clan felt as if they'd been filled with wisdom, and they'd obtained the guidance of a senior monk. They'd attained great enlightenment, and only by letting go of the obsessions in their hearts would they be able to escape the sea of bitterness and attain enlightenment. Under the envelopment of this golden Buddhist aura, they felt that their hearts had obtained an unprecedented sense of fullness, as if a missing piece of their hearts had been filled, and they had obtained endless satisfaction. No. Hu Rong's spiritual power far surpassed that of his peers. He also felt as if he was about to sink into oblivion and ascend to the pure land of ultimate bliss, but under the reminder of the life and death crisis of the cells in his body, he woke up with a start all of a sudden and broke away from the Buddha light transformation. However, it was already too late for him to realize this. As this palm smashed over, the world within a radius of 100 miles trembled. Hundreds of thousands of times of resonance produced an extremely powerful destructive force that bombarded the group of White Tiger race elites. Dong! Hu Rong and the other elites of the White Tiger clan didn't even have the time to let out a scream before they were instantly turned into a ball of meat paste. All of them died miserably, and a large amount of fresh blood splattered onto the ground, dyeing it red. Oh my God, Hu Rong and the others are all dead. They were killed by a single palm and turned into minced meat. He is a Buddhist follower and an arhat. How could he be more terrifying than the Azura clan? He is not a monk. He is obviously a demon, even more ferocious than us. This is not good. This bald ass is too strong. Run. We are no match for him at all. Retreat, retreat immediately. We can't fight this bald ass to death. Don't sacrifice yourself for nothing. Seeing all the elites of the White Tiger clan die miserably, many elites of the Sucking Blood clan were instantly scared out of their wits. They were scared out of their wits, showing Xia Ping's terrifying combat power that no one could match. It had become their instinct to bully the weak and fear the strong. In the face of such a strong opponent, if they stayed where they were, they would be waiting for death. All of them wanted to run away. Especially Raj, he was the first to run away, using the blood escape spell. What joy is there in life? What bitterness is there in death? Benefactors, can't you see it? Death is not the end. It is just the beginning. Let me give you a new life. See you in the next life. Xia Ping smashed down again, increasing the power of the merciful and compassionate palm to the limit. It covered 1,000 miles, and the golden light was dazzling. It was as if an arhat had descended, with a golden body of 3,000 feet. Boom! Raj and the other elites of the Sucking Blood clan let out a shrill scream. They were hit by the golden giant palm before they could run more than 1 mile. The terrifying power exploded around them. Even the terrifying Buddha's light penetrated the void and entered their bodies, corroding the blood energy in the bodies of these dark creatures. The evil aura on their bodies was evolving crazily. In just 1 second, they were turned into ashes under the golden light. Raj regretted it so much that his intestines turned green. He was a noble of the Sucking Blood clan with endless potential. He was destined to become a mighty cultivator in the Thunder Tribulation state. He was unwilling to die here. However, no matter how unwilling he was turned into ashes under the palm and ceased to exist. Even the ground was hit by the giant palm. A 5-finger-deep pit with a diameter of more than 10 miles appeared. Each of the fingers was like a horrifying bottomless chasm. The 1,000-meter-tall mountains that were hit by the palm were flattened and turned into powder as if they were made of tofu. Demon, this bald ass is the real demon. It's over. It's completely over. Why did we provoke such a monk? Why is this bald ass so powerful? And he's only at the Golden Elixir realm. It doesn't make sense at all. He must have been a mighty cultivator at the returning nature state a long time ago. He just hid his real cultivation and pretended to be weak. Shameless to the extreme. Damn bald ass. Didn't they say that monks don't lie? Why are there lies all over him? What should we do now? Fight or run? Many elites of the Elephant clan could not help but scream when they saw what had happened. They were scared to death and their faces turned pale. The elites of the White Tiger clan and the Sucking Blood clan, who were on par with the elites of the Elephant clan, had been killed with 2 palms. None of them had been able to escape. The scene scared them to death. Especially when they saw the monk, Xia Ping, who had killed so many people but still had a compassionate look on his face. It was as if he was not killing people but helping them to escape. They shuddered and felt that they had met a great demon. They wanted to run away immediately. However, seeing what had happened to the Sucking Blood clan, they did not dare to act recklessly. Wait, I remember now. Monk Wu Wudi. Isn't he the one who killed the young master of the 9-headed bird clan on Dragonwood Planet and is wanted by the 9-headed bird king? Some elites of the Elephant clan shouted. They finally remembered. Combined with what had happened and saw Xia Ping's ferocity, there was no doubt that Wu Wudi was the one who killed the young master of the 9-headed bird clan and was wanted by the 9-headed bird king. Chapter 1611. Brother Wu, we failed to recognize you. We didn't expect to offend you. I apologize to you. I hope this matter will end here. What do you think? An elephant warrior said. He wanted to negotiate with Xia Ping to let them go. We are willing to bury the hatchet with you. As the saying goes, it's better to squash enmity than keep it alive. Brother Wu, you are an enlightened monk. I believe you can forgive our inappropriate behavior this time. That's right. If you are willing to let us go, we will remember your kindness. From now on, you will be a friend of the elephant clan. One by one, the elephant warriors spoke up. They made empty promises, hoping to get close to Xia Ping and build a good relationship. That way, they might be able to avoid conflict. Benefactors, you are too polite. Our companions from the Sucking Blood clan and the White Tiger clan are very lonely in front of Buddha. Is it appropriate for you not to accompany them? Xia Ping said calmly. Accompany my ass. Xiang Tao and the others gritted their teeth. His words sounded nice, but if they accompanied Hu Rong and the others, wouldn't they be accompanying them to die? There was no such company. This damn bald donkey obviously didn't want to let them go. He wanted to kill them all. Wu Wudi, don't go too far. Don't you monks pay particular attention to mercy and salvation? We are willing to surrender and surrender. Are you not willing to forgive us and let us go? Xiang Tao shouted. Buddha is naturally merciful. He is extremely great and broad-minded. He can forgive all the sins that people have committed, whether it is theft or murder. He treats everyone the same, Xia Ping said. Xia Ping said, therefore, as a disciple under the banner of Buddha, my main task is to send you to Buddha and have him forgive you. Send my ass. Hearing this, Xiang Tao cursed and showed his true colors. Damn bald donkey, don't be so shameless. Don't think that we elephant warriors are afraid of you. If we really fight, we don't know who will win. He was furious. This bastard still wanted to send them to see Buddha. Wasn't it obvious that he still wanted to kill them? After all, how could they see Buddha if they didn't die? Damn bald donkey, if you want to fight, then let's fight. Brothers, let's fight him to the end. I don't believe he has 3 heads and 6 arms. If you want to take our lives, we'll at least knock out a few of your teeth. One by one, the elephant race warriors were infuriated by Xia Ping. They gave up on the idea of negotiating peacefully and instantly attacked Xia Ping, unleashing their supreme killing moves. Rumble more than a dozen elephant race warriors, including Xiang Tao, went all out, fully activating the elephant race bloodline in their bodies, revealing their true forms. Each of them was a giant ancient starry sky elephant. They roared, circulating the terrifying power in their bodies, forming an ancient elephant great formation that crushed down towards Xia Ping. Xia Ping was neither happy nor sad. The blood and magical power in his body boiled as he circulated the divine elephant breathing technique. It seemed like the power in his body was increasing madly with every passing second, and the shadow of a divine elephant appeared behind him. This divine elephant phantom was extremely terrifying. Compared to the divine elephant, these ancient starry sky elephants were like a grain of light in front of the divine elephant. The gap was almost immeasurable. Dong! It was just a single fist, but it was like a torrential flood, or like a meteor smashing into the ground. It instantly tore apart the ancient mammoth formation, causing everything to collapse. Vital energy collapsed, mountains and rivers shattered. Bang, bang, bang. Xia Ping's body flickered, and a series of phantom images appeared in midair. He was extremely fast, and his fist technique was divine. The sky was filled with fist imprints that condensed into a physical form, shaking the world. After a few breaths, more than a dozen elephant race warriors, including Xiang Tao, let out miserable screams. Their bodies were hit by the fist imprints, and their bodies exploded into pieces. At this point, Xiang Tao and the other elephant race elites were all dead. Not a single one was left alive. In the distance, the people from the various races who were alarmed by the fluctuations of the battle also saw this scene, but their strength was low, so they didn't dare to approach the battlefield. They could only watch from afar. This is too terrifying. Is this the Wu Wuti wanted by the nine-headed bird king? He's so strong that it makes people's hair stand on end. Xiang Tao, Hu Rong, Raj, all of them were geniuses of the major races. They were powerful, and they had condensed their nascent divinities. They also had more than a dozen elite warriors with them, but they were all killed by Wu Wuti. He's incomparably ferocious. Quick, retreat. We can't stay here any longer. If we're discovered by Wu Wuti, we might not be able to escape death. He's an unparalleled demon. Looks like the nine-headed bird clan's bounty isn't that easy to take. But since Wu Wuti has appeared in the Dragonwood secret realm, he'll definitely fight the nine-headed bird clan. When that happens, there'll be a good show to watch. It'll be an earth-shattering battle. There won't be a battle. It'll be a one-sided slaughter. After all, the nine-headed bird king and many elders have appeared. This force is extremely powerful. Who can fight them? What happened today will definitely shock the Dragonwood secret realm. I'm afraid that from now on, not only will the nine-headed bird clan want him, but even the white tiger clan, the sucking blood clan, and the elephant clan will see him as their enemy. He'll be the enemy of the entire world. I wonder how long this brat can live. Many people were discussing it. They were shocked by what had just happened. Some of the spies from the major forces acted quickly, spreading the news of what had just happened. These treasures belong to me now. At that moment, Xia Ping did not care about the spies. He grabbed the space rings left behind by the elites of the Elephant Clan, the Sucking Blood Clan, and the White Tiger Clan. They were all disciples of the major clans in the Western universe. They were extremely wealthy, far more than ordinary people. It could be said that he had gotten a great deal this time. He had found 33 superior-grade spiritual weapons, as well as many spiritual medicines, pills, and more from this group of people alone. Just these rewards alone were enough to make countless people drool. If it were not for the fact that the people around him were worried about Xia Ping's strength, they would have rushed up and killed him for his treasures. Oh right, there's also the solar cauldron. This peerless spiritual weapon belongs to me now. Xia Ping reached out and grabbed the solar cauldron. Then, he channeled all his powers into the formation of the peerless spiritual weapon and refined it quickly. Then, the solar cauldron let out a furious roar. Like a giant dragon that had been restrained, it struggled with all its might, trying to burst out with the terrifying flames of the sun to burn the world. However, Xia Ping activated the pure young immortal spell and a mysterious aura surged out of his body. He suppressed the weapon spirit of the solar cauldron and refined it completely. After a while, the solar cauldron shrunk to the size of a palm. This way, the peerless spiritual weapon, the solar cauldron, had completely become his treasure. He had engraved his soul mark on it. Nobody could take it away from him unless he died. Chapter 1612. How can this bad guy be so strong? He's only at the Golden Core realm. When Tu Linglong saw this scene from afar, she was stunned by Xia Ping's battle achievements. Even if he possesses the bloodline of a divine beast, he wouldn't be able to achieve such a feat, right? Not only is he invincible among his peers, but he can also challenge those at a higher level. This is too exaggerated. She thought she had obtained the inheritance of the Demon Saint Temple. While she might not be able to surpass everything, she would at least not lose to any genius. She had never expected to encounter such a monstrous human like Xia Ping. It's indeed ridiculous. Qing Yuan was speechless as well. The aptitude of ordinary living beings could be described as genius, monster, unparalleled genius, rare in 100 years, once in 10,000 years, and so on. There would always be adjectives to describe it, but she couldn't find any to describe Xia Ping's performance. There was only one kind of creature in the world that couldn't be described with words, and that was the omnipotent and omniscient existence. While Xia Ping hadn't reached such a level yet, his performance right now showed signs of being a god. Damn it, when can I get my revenge? Is there no hope for me in this lifetime? Tu Linglong gnashed her teeth in anger. The better Xia Ping's performance was, the slimmer her chances of getting revenge would be. Was she going to be controlled by this hateful human for the rest of her life? Was she going to never be able to make a comeback? Whoosh! At that moment, Xia Ping took all the treasures from Xiang Tao and the others and refined the Sun True Bronze cauldron. His figure flashed and he appeared beside Qing Yuan and Tu Linglong. We can go now, Xia Ping said. Alright, let's go. Qing Yuan nodded. They were originally going to the north to find the dragonwood source, but they were delayed by the incident with the Sun True Bronze cauldron. Now that the matter was resolved, they naturally had to move on. Soon, the three of them left and headed north. But when Xia Ping and the others left, the surrounding clans quickly spread the news so that all living beings in the Dragonwood secret realm knew about it. The appearance of Wu Wudi, the wanted criminal of the Nine-Headed Bird clan, and the case he had created was a huge commotion that would definitely affect the situation in the Dragonwood secret realm. After all, Hu Rong and the others were the young geniuses of the White Tiger clan, the Sucking Blood clan, and the Elephant clan. The elders of the three clans would definitely not let them off easily. What did you say? The elites led by Hu Rong, Raj, and Xiang Tao were actually killed. What kind of joke is this? Could it be that some old monster has made a move? No, even an old monster wouldn't dare to do that. Wouldn't that be offending all three races at the same time? Even if they had 9 lives, it wouldn't be enough. The one who killed them was Wu Wudi, the most wanted criminal of the Nine-Headed Bird clan. What? Wu Wudi, the Luohan itinerant cultivator who was wanted on Dragonwood Star. How dare he? Even when he was wanted by the Nine-Headed Bird tribe, he didn't know his place. Now he's stirring up trouble again. Does he think his life is too long? Don't underestimate this Wu Wudi. To be able to kill Hu Rong and the others, his strength is not to be underestimated. At least in the returning nature realm, he can be said to be invincible. I reckon he has already condensed his primordial spirit. That's right. Previously, the Nine-Headed Bird tribe sealed off Dragonwood Star, mobilized the masses, and searched every inch of the planet, but they couldn't find any trace of this Wu Wudi. His concealment ability must be top-notch. Even the mighty ones can't catch him. Now there's going to be a good show. Hu Rong and the others were killed. I'm sure the White Tiger clan, Elephant clan, and Sucking Blood clan won't let it go so easily. They'll definitely send their elders to hunt that kid down. I wonder how long he can live. I'm really looking forward to it. At that moment, in the Dragonwood secret realm, everyone was talking about it. They had also learned from various channels that Hu Rong and the others had been killed by Xia Ping. The news spread like a hurricane to everyone's ears, causing a huge commotion. Especially when the elders of the White Tiger clan heard the news. They immediately flew into a rage. That damn bald donkey. How dare he kill the White Tiger clan's heaven's pride? He must be tired of living. Kill him. We must kill that bald donkey. The White Tiger clan's pride can't die for no reason. Send out scouts to search the Dragonwood secret realm. Find any trace of him. Kill him on the spot. The White Tiger clan's dignity cannot be tarnished. This kid must die. One by one, the elders of the White Tiger clan roared. Terrifying killing intent emanated from their bodies, spreading over a radius of tens of thousands of kilometers. Any living being that came close would be scared out of their wits. Even those with weaker strength would be pierced through by thousands of swords. They wouldn't be able to withstand it at all. Secondly, the elders of the Elephant clan also knew about the matter. Although they weren't as short-tempered as the White Tiger clan, it still thoroughly ignited the anger in their hearts. Bald donkey Wu Wudi killed the Elephant clan's pride. He's the Elephant clan's sworn enemy. Aw! What a beast! Our Elephant clan is small in numbers. Even if one of us dies, it's a heavy blow. And now, he even killed more than 10 of us at once. This hatred is absolutely irreconcilable. Xiang Tao was my nephew. He was killed. Although he wasn't skilled enough, the murderer still has to die. Whoever dares to stop the Elephant Clan from taking revenge must die. Their entire clan will be executed. The elders of the Elephant Clan were all furious. For the Elephant Clan, which was small in numbers, the death of even one was a big deal. After all, their reproductive abilities were low, and they only had one child every few years. One could imagine how vicious the death of more than 10 Elephant Clans' pride was. It was enough for them to use the entire clan's power to take revenge. They would kill the enemy to scare the monkey. They acted immediately, coming from another direction of the Dragonwood secret realm to chase after Wu Wudi. The elders of the Sucking Blood clan naturally knew about the matter as well. However, they were creatures of darkness. They were indifferent and heartless, so they weren't as angry as the White Tiger clan and the Elephant clan. But they also wanted to kill Xia Ping. He actually killed Raj and the other idiots. Looks like this Luohan bald donkey has some skills. Hee, I don't know how much energy this bald donkey's blood contains. Maybe he has the blood of the golden body Luohan, which can enhance my power. Hunting the strong, rising through killing and death. This is the way of evolution of the Sucking Blood clan. If I can kill Wu Wudi, I think it will be of great benefit to me. Although Raj and the others are idiots, not everyone can kill them. Follow Wu Wudi and find his whereabouts. His life belongs to the Sucking Blood clan. The eyes of the elders of the Sucking Blood clan shone with a bone-chilling light. Their bodies were filled with terrifying blood-red killing intent, which condensed into a solid substance. Countless ghosts appeared around them. They were all creatures who had died in vain, and they were haunted by resentment. Chapter 1613. The Nine-Headed Bird clan had undoubtedly received the news as well. That's great. That Wu Wudi the thief has finally appeared. A Nine-Headed Bird elder said excitedly. Has he finally appeared? I thought he would have been scared out of his wits by the Nine-Headed Bird clan and wouldn't dare to show up again. That brat didn't just appear. He did something big as soon as he appeared. He killed the young geniuses of the Sucking Blood clan, the White Tiger clan, and the Elephant clan. He's so cruel. Fuck. He's not satisfied with killing our young master. He's still causing trouble everywhere, regardless of the consequences. Is he really afraid that he'll die? He's indeed an evil man. He's the incarnation of a demon. Everyone has the right to kill him. But it's good that he's in the Dragonwood secret realm now. At least we won't have to worry about him running away. Then we won't be able to take revenge even if we want to. The Nine-Headed Bird elders were extremely excited when they heard the news. They felt that they had finally found a chance to take revenge. Once they found Wu Wudi, the Nine-Headed Bird clan would let that bald donkey know what terror was and what fear was. Track Wu Wudi immediately. Find his whereabouts, kill him, and destroy his soul. The Nine-Headed Bird King gritted his teeth and roared. He didn't want to stay here for even a second longer. He wanted to find Wu Wudi immediately and tear his son's murderer into pieces. A few days later, Xia Ping, Tu Linglong, and Green One headed north. They had traveled tens of thousands of miles. How much longer until we arrive? Xia Ping asked. Soon. We might reach our destination in one day. My premonition is getting stronger, Green One said in a low voice. The closer they got to their destination, the stronger her premonition became. But before we reach our destination, we have to get rid of the rats around us. Xia Ping narrowed his eyes. He spread out his divine sense and sensed a radius of hundreds of thousands of kilometers. In the mountains, valleys, and rivers, there were many enemies lying in ambush. They didn't move, looking into the distance as if they were waiting for an opportunity to launch a sneak attack. These enemies were probably from the major races of the Western cosmos. They were probably here for the bounty. He had caused a huge commotion and attracted the attention of countless enemies. I wonder who attracted so many bees and butterflies, bringing disaster to the country and bringing disaster to the people. It's really troublesome to attract so many enemies. Xia Ping glanced at Tu Linglong and Qing Wan. What are you looking at? Damned bald donkey, don't you have any idea who caused this? Seeing the look in Xia Ping's eyes, Tu Linglong immediately flew into a rage. This bastard was really the one who complained first. He was obviously the one who had done a good deed, yet he still wanted to shift the blame onto them. He was simply shameless to the extreme. This guy was the kind of bastard who impregnated a woman and wanted to be irresponsible. Qing Wan clenched her teeth and wanted to bite this shameless man to death. She hated him so much that her teeth were itching. Come out, don't hide around. With so many people lying in ambush, what are you afraid of? Are you all scoundrels? You don't even dare to fight me head-on. Xia Ping stood out and shouted loudly. His voice traveled tens of thousands of miles and reverberated back and forth. The enemies lying in ambush in the surroundings could hear it clearly. Ha! As expected of the murderer who killed the nine-headed bird's young master. You are indeed audacious. You didn't run even after seeing so many of us. Your courage is commendable. As soon as he finished speaking, dozens of figures flew out from the depths of a mountain. These were all elites of the peacock race. They had bodies of beautiful feathers that were multicolored and gorgeous. Their bodies released a tyrannical aura. They were extremely rampant and had arrogant natures. That was why they were immediately angered by Xia Ping and were the first to jump out. Ha! Peacock race, don't even think about taking the initiative. Our fire bear race has taken a fancy to this nine-headed bird-wanted criminal. We want his head. In the distance, dozens of fire bear race jumped out from the mountains. Each of them was dozens of meters tall and as lofty as a mountain. Their auras were vigorous, as if they were afraid that the peacock race would take the lead. If that happened, they wouldn't even have any leftovers to drink. These elites of the fire bear race had scarlet fur that was like flames. Their bodies were glowing. Peacock race, fire bear race, you want to be the first to get his head? Have you asked the zebra race? Get lost, all of you. This is a wanted criminal of the nine-headed bird race, the white tiger race, the elephant race, and the sucking blood race. We will reward him handsomely. His head belongs to the water tiger race. No one can take it from us. With the antelope race here, who dares to be presumptuous? Do you all want to die? At that moment, the elites of the races hiding in the surroundings all jumped out and scrambled to be the first. They were afraid that Xia Ping's head would be taken away by others if they were one step too late. They also thought that they would win. After all, there were only 3 people on Xia Ping's side, while they had at least 1,000 people. As the saying went, there was strength in numbers. No matter how powerful that guy was, he could not be a match for them. Therefore, all of them regarded Xia Ping's head as their own. They planned to kill Xia Ping and take the head to the nine-headed bird race for the reward. It was a great fortune, and everyone was envious of it. Holy shit, how come there are so many of them? Tu Linglong was dumbfounded. She had thought that the other side had at most a dozen enemies hidden. She did not expect that at least 1,000 of them would appear with just a roar from this bastard human. This was too much. Even if it was a group fight, it should not be like this. She felt weak and wanted to run away immediately. Even though she was a space-time rabbit, she could not stand being beaten up by so many enemies. Qing Wan looked serious as she thought about the escape route. Very good. Are they all out? Then let's kill them all together. Xia Ping nodded to show that he was very satisfied. Within the range of his divine senses, although there were still some enemies hiding in the dark who had not come out, they were just 2 or 3 small kittens. They could not affect the overall situation. He believed that after all the enemies were killed, there would not be many people who would dare to follow him on the rest of the journey. Kill them all together. This bald donkey has lost his mind. His name is Wu Wudi, and he really thinks that he is invincible. Who does he think he is? We are not trash like the nine-headed bird and the others. That's right. I guess he has become arrogant after defeating the nine-headed bird and the others. Go and wake him up. Let him know that the Western cosmos is huge, and it is definitely not a place that this bald donkey can run amok. Stupid bald donkey, the Western cosmos is very big, and there are countless experts, do you know? Don't be arrogant here. Hearing this, the people of the peacock race were infuriated, and they sneered again and again. They could not help but feel a burst of anger in their hearts. This human wanted to kill all the elites of their race. What a joke. Chapter 16-14. Are you done? If you are, it's my turn now. After hearing the words of the Vermilion Bird tribe, Xia Ping was expressionless. He attacked immediately. Martial art, mystic art, 7 Malice Dragon Roar. Roar. In the blink of an eye, Xia Ping roared. Sound wave runes gushed out from the depths of his throat. These runes contained true dragons that exuded a tyrannical power. With his body as the center, a terrifying sound wave immediately burst out, stacking on top of each other like ocean waves. Thousands of layers stacked on top of each other, creating millions of vibrations in the air. It was even to the extent that this roar absorbed the boundless black, baleful aura of heaven and earth. It spread out in all directions, shocking everyone. It specialized in breaking through one's protective astral energy, and was unstoppable. Even the ground was corroded by the baleful aura, turning into black soil. Shit, retreat. The elites of the races paled in fear. They could feel the terror of this martial art, mystic art. When the sound wave roared out, they felt the suppression of their bloodlines. It was as if they had met a high-level creature. It was as if a true dragon had descended and contained the might of a dragon. Facing such a dragon's might, they could only use 70% of their strength. Their legs trembled and they tried to escape. But how could their speed compare to the speed of the sound wave? Before they could escape, they were bombarded in an instant. The surrounding air vibrated millions of times. Ah! One by one, the enemies cried out in pain. Their internal organs were severely injured and they couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. Their ears were almost deafened. The ground was destroyed by the sound wave and was even flattened by 5 to 6 meters. Even the enemies who were hiding in the dark were attacked by the sound wave. This was an attack that didn't discriminate. Anyone within the range would be attacked. In the end, thousands of enemies were heavily injured and fell to the ground, spitting out blood. Damn bald donkey, let's kill him. Let's work together and set up a formation to kill him. Everyone, don't be afraid. Such a powerful mystic art must consume a lot of energy. He won't be able to use it a second time. Let's fight to the death. But even so, the peacock tribe didn't give up and wanted to fight back to kill Xia Ping. Not only did this not make them lose their will to fight, but it also made them furious. Stubborn. Don't blame me if that's the case. Xia Ping formed a seal with both of his hands and channeled the dense magical energy in his body to activate the heaven and earth formation. True illusion disintegration. In an instant, an illusory formation that was set up in the surroundings appeared, covering a radius of 30,000 li. Formation runes appeared one after another, as though they were imprints of the Tao. The moment this great formation rose, a large amount of white mist appeared in a radius of 30,000 miles, covering the entire area. This white mist had the power to confuse divine sense, making it impossible to penetrate more than a meter. All of a sudden, the peacock tribe and the others became headless flies. They didn't even know where they were, let alone where their companions were. Just a single formation was enough to separate the enemies and attack them separately. They no longer had the advantage of numbers. When did you set up a formation here? Tu Linglong and Qing Wan were stupefied. They didn't expect Xia Ping to still have this kind of trump card. They could see how formidable this great formation was. It was complicated to the extreme and contained the power to interfere with divine senses. If they were to stay in this formation, they would be blind and wander around aimlessly like a headless fly. Do you think that I've been doing nothing for the past few days? I've already set up a trap and waited for these enemies to walk right into it so that I can capture them all in one fell swoop. Xia Ping chuckled and looked at Tu Linglong and Qing Wan. How would he dare to go up to Liang Shan if he wasn't careful? Tui, treacherous scum. Tu Linglong said in disdain. She didn't want to exaggerate this human at all. All right, enough with the nonsense. Later on, the two of you will enter the formation as well. Knock out all these enemies and tie them up. I'm going to capture them alive. Don't worry, with the protection of the formation, it'll be a piece of cake for you guys to knock them out. He said to Tu Linglong and Qing Wan. Sneak attack from behind? That's my favorite thing to do. Tu Linglong was very excited and immediately got into action. Qing Wan nodded her head and entered the formation as well. They were already on the same boat as Xia Ping. It was naturally their duty to defeat these enemies. An hour later, the peacock race and the thousands of enemies were all captured. Their transcendence energy was sealed by Xia Ping and they were tied up like dumplings, unable to move. They also looked very miserable. Some of them were beaten black and blue and couldn't even recognize their relatives. Some of them had a huge bump on the back of their heads, which was caused by the sneak attack. Some of them resisted so fiercely that their legs were broken and they were howling in pain. Shameless bald donkey, you actually used the formation. Do you have no shame? That's right. Let go of me if you have the guts. Let's fight to the death. What a despicable bald donkey. How long did you prepare to plot against us in secret? I'm not convinced. Even if you capture us, we won't be convinced. You better let us go immediately. We're all prodigies of the various races in the Western universe. If you dare to kill us, you'll definitely become the public enemy of all the races in the Western universe. No matter how big the universe is, there'll be no place for you. All of them started shouting. They were extremely unwilling to accept their fate. Some even tried to threaten Xia Ping into letting them go. Hee hee, a bunch of trash. It's not despicable for you to bully me with numbers. Tu Linglong sneered and looked down on this group of demons from the Western universe. They had to admit their mistakes and stand upright when they were beaten. Was there any meaning in being unrepentant? She looked down on this kind of people the most. It doesn't matter if you're not convinced. You're already prisoners. If you don't want to die, behave yourself. I'm afraid even your fathers won't be able to save you. If you continue to talk nonsense, I'll cripple your lives and make you eunuchs. The Green Wan said indifferently. Fuck, this vicious woman. The faces of the peacock race and the others turned green. They didn't dare to clamor anymore and felt their abdomens tighten. Indeed, a woman's heart was the most vicious. She was like a wasp's stinger. She aimed for their vitals without holding back. Don't worry, I'm a good person. I'm a monk. I don't kill, so you won't die. At this time, Xia Ping jumped out and played the good cop. He had a benevolent expression like an enlightened monk. He was just short of releasing light from his head to save all living beings. Anyone would think that he was benevolent and accomplished. Bullshit, damn bald donkey. However, the peacock race and the others gritted their teeth and didn't appreciate it at all. To be honest, even if they believed that pigs could climb trees, they wouldn't believe this bald donkey's words. This guy said that he didn't kill. How did the nine-headed bird race's young master Duan Mukong, the white tiger race's prodigy Hu Rong, the sucking blood race's prodigy Raj, and the elephant race's prodigy Xiang Tao die? Did they commit suicide? Chapter 16-15. Master Wu, since you don't want to kill us, why don't you let us go? Leave us some leeway so that we can meet again in the future. A member of the Peacock clan shouted. He wanted to take the opportunity to ask Xia Ping to release him. In order to avoid hostility, he even addressed Xia Ping as Master Wu. That's right. If you let us go, I can swear to the heavens that I will never cause trouble for you in this life. I will avoid you whenever I see you. The Bear clan and the others swore to the heavens, wanting to use a vicious oath to appease Xia Ping. However, to them, making an oath was as easy as drinking water. Once they escaped, they would immediately turn hostile. Of course, they would definitely not make a move in order to abide by the agreement. However, who said that they couldn't ask for help? They immediately asked the elders of their clan to cut this damned bald donkey into pieces to take revenge. Why are you in such a hurry? Xia Ping waved his hand. Although this poor monk is magnanimous and has forgiven you a long time ago, the death penalty can be spared, but you can't escape punishment, understand? What do you want? The elites of the Peacock clan immediately felt that something was wrong. According to this bastard's methods, how could they get away with it so easily? Do you know why I'm so strong? How can I fight so many of you alone? Xia Ping first asked a question. Why? Is it because of treasures, cultivation techniques, comprehension, talent, or something else? The elites of the Peacock clan were also curious. Although they were unwilling, they had to admit that Xia Ping's strength was terrifying. One had to know that most of them were cultivators at the returning nature realm. Facing a puny golden core realm, it should be easy. Who would have thought that this monk would be so powerful? He was not human at all. To be honest, they were also curious about how Wu Wudi became so strong. If they could know a thing or two, it might be of great benefit. All of them pricked up their ears, wanting to hear what Xia Ping had to say. No, these are not the main reasons. The reason why I'm so strong is because I'm bald. Xia Ping said seriously. Bald? The elites of the Peacock clan were dumbfounded. They looked at Xia Ping and didn't know what to say. What kind of bullshit reason was that? Did he think they were 3-year-old children that could be easily deceived? This penniless monk will tell you a truth of the world. Only by becoming bald can you become stronger. This is an eternal truth of the universe. If you don't become bald, you won't be able to become stronger. Xia Ping looked up to the sky and sighed. The reason why you are so weak is because of the hair on your body. Each hair represents a strand of trouble. The Buddha says that there are 3,000 strands of trouble, and each strand is better than the last. With so much hair and so many worries on his body, it was as if he was carrying a huge mountain on his back. Walking was difficult and tiring at every turn. How could he cultivate to become strong like this? If you can shave off all the hair on your body, it means that you have gotten rid of the 3,000 strands of worry. You will throw away all the worries in your mind, and your mind will be in an ethereal state. This way, no matter what you do, you will get twice the result with half the effort. He had a holy expression on his face, like an enlightened monk. Bullshit. One of the Fire Bear tribe warriors cursed. Who doesn't know that you Luohan people are born bald? But there aren't many who are as strong as you. You're just making things up. Who would believe your nonsense? After all, he was a handsome fire bear. His red hair was the kind that glowed. With his beautiful hair, he had seduced countless young ladies from the Fire Bear tribe. If he was bald and didn't have his hair, could he still pick up girls in the future? Would he still be a handsome bear? Which female bear would take a fancy to a bear without hair? Ba. Benefactor, you are too obsessed. Your body is just a bag of skin. After you die, you will only be a pile of bones. Xia Ping said, Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva once made a great vow, if hell is not empty, I will not become a Buddha. This poor monk is unbeatable in martial arts and also made a great vow, if the world is bald, I will not become a Buddha. If everyone is bald, people will not judge people by their appearance. Only then will they reveal their original appearance. Only then will they be able to meet each other sincerely and understand each other. The world of Baldies is a world of true love and peace. He spoke passionately, describing his ambitions. Scram, scram without stopping. I will not go bald even if I die. Shameless bald donkey, don't show off here. If you want to go bald, just go bald yourself. Why do you have to force others against their will? The people from the peacock race spat at Xia Ping. They had never seen such a shameless bald donkey. It was fine if he went bald, but he wanted all living beings in the universe to go bald with him. He was simply perverted, the kind that wanted to take revenge on society. It seems like all of you haven't gained enlightenment. Forget it, this poor monk already knew this. I will help you this once. After all, if I don't go to hell, who will? Xia Ping's eyes revealed a savage glint. Stop, bald donkey, stop right now. I am a warrior from the fire bear race. Is it right to not have hair? Who doesn't know that my fire bear race is rough because we have too much hair? Devil, this bald donkey is a devil. Does he know that I am from the peacock race? Is a peacock still a peacock without feathers? He is just a featherless bird. Damn bald donkey, I will fight it out with you. Save me. Is there anyone who can stop this devil? My antelope race cannot be plucked. Is a featherless antelope still an antelope? This is too much. Killing is just a matter of nodding one's head. Wu Woody, my water tiger race is absolutely irreconcilable with you. God damn it, my tail was chopped off by this bastard just because there was a bit of hair on my tail. He is inhumane. The elites of the Western cosmos cried out in pain. Their faces turned green. They were all tough men. Even if they were tortured, they wouldn't frown or shed a single tear. But after having all their hair shaved off, they cried out in pain. They felt like they were better off dead than alive. It was as if they had been defiled. Their chastity was gone. There was nothing more sorrowful than a dead heart. When Qing Wan and Tu Linglong saw this scene, they felt that Xia Ping was too cruel. Those who saw it would feel sad and those who heard it would cry. Looking at the peacock race warriors, they were originally covered in colorful feathers. They were extremely resplendent and were known as the nobility of birds. Even from 10 miles away, one could feel their nobility. They were high and mighty, beautiful and moving. But now, all their feathers were gone. They were like vultures, incomparably miserable. Looking at the fire bear race warriors, they were originally covered in scarlet fur that burned like flames. They were as dazzling as fireworks. They were majestic and mighty, and their auras were terrifying. But now, all their feathers were gone. They were all curled up and didn't have the face to see anyone. They were even worse than black bears. They were like mangy bears. The antelope race warriors were the most miserable. Their selling point was their smooth and clean white fur. They were like lotus flowers on a snowy mountain, high and mighty, incomparably pure and holy. With a casual step, their fur would fly up. It was as if they had been washed, smooth and soft. Chapter 16:16. Not bad, you're much more pleasing to the eye now. Much more handsome, nice hairstyles. Xia Ping clapped his hands, very satisfied with his haircutting skills. Pleasing my ass. What kind of bullshit aesthetic sense was this? He even said this was a nice hairstyle. He was already bald, yet he still had an egg-shaped hairstyle. The warriors of the peacock race all stared at Xia Ping with murderous eyes. The hatred in their hearts couldn't be washed away even by 3 rivers. They would definitely take revenge for shaving their heads in the future. But now, they didn't even have the strength to move. Tears flowed from the corners of their eyes as if they had been raped. There was nothing more sorrowful than a dead heart. Let's go. After doing these things, Xia Ping was very satisfied. He conveniently plundered all the treasures on these elite warriors and quickly left this place with Tu Linglong and Qing Wan. After all, he couldn't stay here for too long. Otherwise, the nine-headed bird race, elephant race, and other races would definitely chase after him. At that time, it wouldn't be so easy to escape. Why didn't you kill that group of enemies? If they escaped, I'm afraid they would attract more enemies. Qing Wan asked in confusion. She didn't believe that this human was the kind of person who would be ruthless when it was time to act. But this matter was full of strangeness. What's the point of killing them? Living is the greatest benefit. Xia Ping smiled slightly. The reason why he did this was to gain hatred. If he killed them, who would bring him hatred? Wouldn't it be useless? Forget it. I don't know what you're planning. Qing Wan didn't want to continue pursuing this matter. She said, but there are still many spies around, secretly following us. It's not so easy to get rid of them. It doesn't matter. Before, it was just to lure the snake out of the hole, so they easily followed us. I have a secret treasure on me that can hide our aura. No one can find it. Xia Ping said lightly. His non-phase mask not only had an effect on himself, but it could even divide a part of its power to help the people around him hide their aura. He believed that once the power of the non-phase mask was activated, no matter how powerful the perception of those spies were, they wouldn't be able to find his whereabouts. Whoosh! In the next second, Xia Ping immediately made his move. He circulated the power of the formless mask, and a mysterious and profound energy surged out, instantly enveloping himself, Tu Linglong, and the blue wand. Then, they disappeared on the spot. The surrounding scouts were all shocked. No matter how they searched, they couldn't find any trace of Xia Ping and the others. It was as if they had disappeared from this world. It was unbelievable. An hour later, a group of auras flew over from the distance. They seemed to be from the same faction, and they were all elders from the various races. The reason why they had come here was because this group of elders had received news that their clan's juniors were in danger, so they had hurried over to protect them. Who is it? Which bastard dares to hurt my grandson? Come out immediately and accept your death. No mercy. Set up a formation to seal the area and seal the murderer. No one will be able to escape. One by one, the elders rushed over fiercely. After receiving the news that their clan's geniuses were in danger, they were burning with anxiety and rushed over without stopping. Finally, they arrived. After all, these geniuses were the future of their race. If they died now, it would be an unbearable loss, and they didn't know how long it would take to make up for it. They quickly arrived at the place where Xia Ping and the other geniuses were fighting. Oh! What's going on? Where are the geniuses of my peacock race? Where did they go? Could they have been killed by that vicious monk, Wu Wudi? The peacock race's elder arrived and looked around, but he couldn't find the geniuses of the peacock race. Ah, my poor grandson, I didn't expect you to be killed by that vicious monk just like that. Don't worry, Grandpa will definitely avenge you and kill that demonic monk. Another peacock race's elder shouted in grief and indignation. He was in so much pain that he wanted to die, and tears streamed down his face. He thought that all his grandsons were dead, killed by Wu Wudi, and not a single one was left alive. Grandpa, I'm not dead yet. At this moment, a weak voice was heard. Go away, don't call me Grandpa. Who's your grandpa? Don't randomly call people relatives. You vulture, don't think that just because you sound like my grandson, Kong Ji, I'll treat you nicely. The peacock race's elder sneered, revealing a look of disgust. As a noble peacock, he looked down on bald creatures like vultures. They were dirty and despicable. No, Grandpa, I'm Kong Ji. Look at me carefully, I'm Kong Ji. Why can't you recognize me? Kong Ji was crying. If you don't believe me, I can use the peacock race's mystique. He activated the vermilion bird's demonic power in his body. What? You're really Kong Ji. What's going on? Feeling that familiar bloodline aura, the peacock race's elder finally believed that this hairless fellow was his grandson. But what was going on? Why were there no feathers? Could this be the art of young people nowadays? But wasn't it a little too avant-garde? Grandpa, it's all because of that goddamn, shameless Wu Woody. That bastard harmed others and himself. He wanted to take revenge on society because he was bald. He made us all bald, so he stripped us of all our hair. Kong Ji cried. Grandpa, you have to take revenge for me. If this guy doesn't die, the world won't be at peace. Who knows how many people will be killed by him? His goal is to make the world bald. He's the scourge of the universe. If I meet that bastard, I might go bald too. He'll pluck all my feathers. What? Hearing this, the peacock race's elder's face turned green. Yes, elder, take revenge for us. My antelope race is proud of our white fur. It's the symbol of our race. Now that it's all been plucked by him, he said that he'll use it to make wool clothes. In the future, he'll come back to cut it. This enmity is irreconcilable. Ao, elder, my fire bear race's red fur is gone too. That bastard ripped it clean. He said that he doesn't like our long fur and that it's disgusting. My God, without fur, are we still bears? Can we still resist the cold? He's our fire bear race's greatest enemy. I must tear him apart. I won't rest until he's dead. Elder, that Wu Woody is inhumane. He's jealous of our fur. He's a psychopath. If he doesn't die, the Western universe will never have peace. This is the Baldy's revenge. He's accumulated resentment and hatred for a long time. The prodigies of the various races finally recovered some of their strength. They leaped up from where they were and returned to the side of their respective races' elders, crying about their tragic experiences, hoping that the elders would help them take revenge. Chapter 16-17. Oh my God, you really are Xiongbo. My grandson, how did you become like this? Are you still a fire bear without fur? You're just a meatball, a damn fatty. Even bears aren't as disgusting as you. The fire bear elder exclaimed. He finally recognized his grandson, Xiongbo, as well as the other prodigies of the fire bear race. He would never have thought that his grandson would become like this. Hearing this, Xiongbo cried. He was so angry that he almost fainted. He already knew how sullen he was after losing his fur, but he didn't expect his grandfather to call him a meatball, a damn fatty. How was this a grandfather? Who would say that to their own grandson? Did he even know how to speak? He also thought of his childhood sweetheart, the female bear. If she saw him like this, she would definitely break up with him. Who would date a damn fatty? Thinking of this, he felt even more sorrowful, and he started crying. Yang Jian, it really is you. Hubby, you're such a handsome antelope. How did you become like this after losing your fur? A female prodigy of the antelope race also recognized her husband. She was heartbroken and wanted to divorce him. Don't worry, Yang Mei, I'm fine. I'm different from those losers. Their fur was forcefully plucked by Wu Woody, but I just wanted to change my hairstyle. Yang Jian pretended to be calm and said that this was his new hairstyle. He could lose everything in front of his wife, but he couldn't lose his face. He had to hold on. Really? Does the antelope race have such a hairstyle? It's all bald. Yang Mei blinked. Hubby, this is the trend. It's next year's trend. If it didn't exist before, will it not exist in the future? Even if it doesn't, I can create it and make it popular. In the future, only bald antelopes will be handsome, Yang Jian said confidently. Yang Jian swore solemnly. In order to cover up his embarrassment, he was going all out. As expected of hubby, you're amazing. Yang Mei was filled with admiration. You're too kind. It's just a basic operation. Yang Jian was proud. He had finally won back his face in front of his wife. The surrounding prodigies of the antelope race were speechless. This bald man wanted to create a new trend. Was he crazy? No, could this bastard have really been brainwashed by Wu Wuti and wanted to promote the bald hairstyle in the antelope race? If that was the case, then this bastard was the sinner of the antelope tribe, a true antelope traitor. Many of the antelope race were wary of Yang Jian's thoughts. They definitely couldn't let him get into trouble and get brainwashed by the demonic monk Wu Wuti. The commotion quickly spread, and soon, countless people in the Dragonwood secret realm knew about it. Many rumors started to spread, causing many races to panic. Have you heard? That demonic monk Wu Wuti has done something big recently. You did something big again. Which clan's prodigies were killed by him? No, that guy didn't kill anyone this time. However, he was even more despicable than killing people. In the future, the race's geniuses that chased after him were all stripped of all their hair and became bald like him. That's right. It's said that the geniuses of the antelope race, fire bear race, and peacock race have all fallen under the hands of this bald donkey. All the hair on their bodies are gone, and who knows how long it'll take for them to grow back. Oh my God, how can this race look good without hair? That's right. Because of this, a few races' geniuses couldn't take the blow and went completely crazy. Many of the race's elites were discussing, and they were all extremely emotional. They didn't expect that Wu Wuti would do such a thing in just a few days. It was unimaginable, and he never stopped. Killing people is just a matter of nodding to the ground, but this bastard is different. He's extremely vicious and kills people's hearts. He plucked the other party's hair, and now he's letting them live. Some races' geniuses gritted their teeth in hatred. Someone said mysteriously, according to the grapevine, I heard that he made a grand vow to make the world bald. What bullshit grand vow? How can he make such a vow so casually? Bald my ass. Who's going bald? This demonic monk has gone completely crazy. Fuck, this damn bald donkey. He's already bald, and now he wants others to go bald with him. What a perverted way of thinking. Think about it carefully. In the entire universe, only the Luohan people are bald. Everyone else has hair. One can imagine their aesthetic standards and resentment. They've probably been jealous of our beautiful hair for a long time. Without a doubt, this Wu Wuti is a weirdo born from endless resentment. He's the Luohan people's tool for revenge. We definitely can't allow this Wu Wuti to continue running amok. Otherwise, who knows how many people will fall into his hands. It's fine if they're killed, but they'll also become bald for the rest of their lives. Who can take that? I went to see the fire bear victims just now. Everyone, think about it. The fire bears are all ferocious men with nerves of steel, but they also cried. They cried like 10-ton children. It's really sad to hear and tearful to see. I saw it too. After that handsome peacock, Kang Ji, became bald, his 18 girlfriends broke up with him at the same time. Those girlfriends even said that they were only interested in his beautiful feathers. Now that he's bald, what's the basis of their relationship? Many prodigies of the various races gritted their teeth. They shared a common enemy and sighed. Their eyes revealed a fierce glint. To be honest, although they were not the victims, they felt the same way. If this Wu Wuti continued to be arrogant, they might be the next victims. They had to be careful. The prodigies of the peacock and fire bear races were examples of what would happen. Because of this matter, many of the Luohan elites were hated by the prodigies of the various races. From time to time, they would be attacked. They said that they wanted to take revenge for their hairless brothers and seek justice. Hearing this, the Luohan elders were so angry that they vomited blood. This was simply an undeserved disaster. They did not even know that bullshit Wu Wuti. They did not know where he came from. How could they be blamed for this matter? They explained to the various races that they had nothing to do with Wu Wuti and did not know him. They hoped that they would not disturb the Luohan people's training this time. However, the various races of the Western universe did not care. Since they could not find that sinister little Wu Wuti, they would find trouble with the Luohan people. After all, Wu Wuti was one of them. They could not get rid of him. There was no other way. So the Luohan people and the various races fought, causing the sky to fall and the earth to crack. For a time, because of this matter caused by Xia Ping, the entire Dragonwood secret realm was in chaos. The wind was blowing and the cranes were in a panic. At this time, Xia Ping, Tu Linglong, and Qing Yuan were heading north, deep into the Dragonwood secret realm. They did not care about the chaos in other places. In any case, they had the formless mask to conceal their aura. The surrounding spies would not be able to find their whereabouts. A day later, they finally arrived at their destination. It was a towering mountain that was tens of thousands of feet tall. We're here. Chapter 16-18. Wait, there's someone up ahead. Xia Ping stopped. He sensed many powerful auras that far surpassed the returning nature realm, even reaching the transcendence realm and the thunder calamity realm. These were the strongest cultivators below the sages. Tu Linglong and Qing Yuan also sensed it. They held their breaths and advanced carefully. A few minutes later, they finally arrived at their destination. In front of a mountain, there were hundreds of angels. Each of them had white feathers and pairs of wings that shone brightly, looking extremely sacred. The place they were at seemed to have formed a sacred domain. It was surrounded by a ball of white light that had a strong repelling energy. Any intrusions would be detected by the angels. Fortunately, the formless mask had the ability to hide its aura. It was a connate treasure. Even though these angels had the power of a domain, they could not find Xia Ping's traces. Very strong. Xia Ping's expression was solemn. He sensed that each of these angels was extremely powerful. There were 2 Thunder Calamity Realm cultivators, 15 Transcendence Realm cultivators, and 108 Returning Nature Realm cultivators. No matter where they were in the universe, such a force would play an important role. They could definitely be counted as the elites. Tu Linglong and Qing Yuan also sensed the power of these angels. They could even shake the sky. Just the aura they emitted could crush the earth and crush mountains. They felt that they could not breathe in front of these powerful cultivators. It was too stifling. If their traces were discovered by these angels, they would probably be killed dozens of times over with just a thought. Interesting. It seems that there is indeed a treasure here. Xia Ping touched his chin. He did not think that these angels came here to play. They must have found a secret treasure here. That was why they came here. He continued to hide his aura and spy on them. He wanted to know the true purpose of these angels. At this moment, the angels stood in front of the mountain with excited expressions. That's right. Oliver, this is the place. A Thunder Calamity Realm angel said, I can sense the ripples coming from the spatial nodes here. This place must be a hidden half-plane in the Dragonwood secret realm. He looked at the leader of the angels, Oliver. He was also a Thunder Calamity Realm angel. Well done, Harley. Looks like our information is correct. Oliver's eyes shone brightly. We didn't spend so much time and effort to find this spatial node in vain. This is great. It's said that there are many spatial nodes hidden in the Dragonwood secret realm. These spatial nodes are connected to various demiplanes. That's Titania's real lair. Angel Harley said, but these space nodes aren't fixed and can move at any time. They also have formations to hide their auras. Even a saint would have a hard time finding them. I didn't expect our luck to be so good. We finally found a space node. The heavens really bless our angel race. He was very excited. Although Titania was a notorious wanted criminal in the universe, he had to admit that she was a terrifying saint. One could imagine just how many treasures there were in the lair of a saint. Even a random piece of scrap dropped would be enough to benefit angels like them greatly and obtain endless benefits. Originally, when they received the news, they did not have much confidence in finding the spatial node. However, out of obligation, they still sent a large team to search. They did not expect their luck to be so good this time. In just a few days, they found it. If this news spread, it would immediately shake the entire Western universe. Perhaps even saints would be attracted. After all, this was Titania's lair. Who knew what good things were inside? Let's do it. Don't waste time talking. Immediately open this spatial node and enter this demi-plane, Oliver said immediately. He wanted to go in immediately and search the demi-plane for treasures. Although this place was remote and not many people came here, who knew if someone would come after a while? In order to avoid any accidents, he wanted to act immediately. Don't worry, I'll do it now. Angel Harley nodded. He did not hesitate and formed a seal with both hands. Suddenly, waves of spatial fluctuations appeared from his body, and spatial runes shot out one after another. Immediately, a ripple appeared in the space in front of him. It seemed to communicate with the aura of the demiplane inside. At first, there was only a small black dot in front of him, but it quickly expanded and became a black vortex at least 10 meters in diameter. It stretched across the sky and emitted a profound and mysterious aura. Yes, this is the place. There is indeed a spatial node here. If we can obtain the treasures in Titania's lair, our race of angels will definitely rise and become incomparably glorious. Once our race of angels rises, we will definitely be the rulers of the entire universe. Those filthy humans will have to submit to us and be enslaved by us for all eternity. Yes, in this universe, only our race of angels is the noblest. Those humans are all sinful existences. They should be completely purified and sent to hell. Many angels were extremely excited. They stared at the black hole that had suddenly appeared. Even a spatial tunnel had appeared. They were already convinced that this place was indeed a treasure land. In the distance, Xia Ping, Tu Linglong, and Qing Wan also saw this scene. Heavens, there is a spatial node here that has not been discovered by anyone? Tu Linglong was dumbfounded. One had to know that the Dragonwood secret realm had been discovered for hundreds of thousands of years. Who knew how many powerful beings had entered it? Even saints had come to plunder the secret realm for treasures. Over the years, undiscovered spatial nodes were few and far between. But now that one had been discovered, there was no doubt that this was earth-shattering news. If this news were to spread, the entire Dragonwood secret realm would definitely be shaken. Countless powerful beings would swarm over and kill each other, turning this place into a bloody battlefield. No wonder my premonition was so strong. So there is a treasure land here. This must be one of Titania's important strongholds. Qing Wan's eyes flashed. She was extremely tempted to enter this half-plane as well. However, after weighing the strength of the angels, she gave up. Even if she had 9 lives, it would not be enough to snatch food from these powerful angels. But she was also very unwilling. The treasures were clearly right in front of her, but she could not obtain anything. It was very frustrating. Oh, look, something seems to have happened. Xia Ping's eyes flashed. He immediately saw that the group of angels seemed to want to enter through the spatial tunnel. But as soon as they got close, the spatial tunnel trembled violently. Roar! Immediately, an earth-shattering roar came from the depths of the spatial tunnel. It emitted a terrifying might, stirring up endless fear in the depths of one's bloodline. The surroundings shook violently. Chapter 1619. The dragon was completely golden, as though it was made of gold. It wore a crown on its head, which was engraved with jewels. It exuded an extremely noble aura. The moment it appeared, it swept through the 4 seas and suppressed everything, as though it was an emperor that ruled over everything. At the same time, it stirred up a terrifying gale that blew the surrounding angels away. What? There's a dragon guarding this place. The angels were all shocked and retreated. They hadn't expected this spatial node to have such a protective force. But soon, they became excited. The more heavily guarded this place was, the more important it was to Titania. It meant that there were many treasures here, so how could they not be excited? No, it's not a real dragon. It's not even a living thing. It's a talisman called the Primordial Heavenly Dragon Talisman. The eyes of the angel leader, Oliver, shone brightly. He could not suppress the excitement in his voice at all. He looked at the heavenly dragon as if he had seen a peerless treasure. What? It's not a living thing, but just a talisman. How is that possible? The angels couldn't believe it. The dragon was just too lifelike. Its claws, scales, and tail were all lifelike, as though it was a living thing. Most importantly, it emitted a terrifying dragon might that reached deep into their souls. It was ridiculous to say that the dragon wasn't a living thing, but a talisman. Nothing is impossible. Titania is a sage of the dragon race, the strongest of the dragon race. Not only is she a scientist, but she's also a master refiner. The Primordial Heavenly Dragon Talisman is her masterpiece. Oliver knew many secrets and said, "It's said that there are a total of 3,000 such Primordial Heavenly Dragon Talismans. They symbolize the 3,000 great Tao of the universe and have the power to transform into a dragon. It's said that when 3,000 Primordial Heavenly Dragon Talismans are gathered together, it's a true sage artifact. It can rule over a group of dragons and fight a sage. Its power is boundless and can shatter the heavens." However, after the ancient war, these primordial heavenly dragon talismans were forcefully separated and torn apart by many sages, scattering them to various parts of the universe. These talismans don't have the power of a peerless sage artifact. But even so, just one primordial heavenly dragon talisman contains power second only to a sacred artifact. If there is a chance to gather all 3,000 primordial heavenly dragon talismans, you will be invincible. When the angels heard these words and saw this heaven dragon, their moods changed. Looks of greed appeared in their eyes. This was definitely a peerless treasure. He did not expect to find the primordial heavenly dragon talisman just outside the door before entering the demiplane. To be honest, even if they could not use the primordial heavenly dragon talisman, they could sell it for an astonishing price. It was definitely a priceless treasure. Good stuff. Xia Ping was also drooling. In fact, he could see more clearly than these angels. He used the golden crow's eye of hell and saw through the true face of this heaven dragon. Just as the angel leader had said, this heavenly dragon was a talisman drawn on a piece of golden paper. It was the size of a palm, and there was a lifelike heavenly dragon drawn on it. Each line was condensed from the heavenly dragon's blood and contained the heavenly dragon's essence. That was why it contained such a terrifying dragon might. Just such a talisman could make 10,000 dragons submit and grasp the power of the heavenly dragon. As expected of a peerless talisman created by Titania. It had unfathomable powers and infinite mysteries. It was unknown how powerful this Dharma treasure would be if all 3,000 primordial heavenly dragon talismans were gathered. Tu Linglong and Green Wan's eyes lit up as well. They yearned to snatch this primordial heavenly dragon talisman immediately. Haha, it's just a primordial heavenly dragon talisman. It's nothing. Watch how I subdue it. Angel Harley laughed out loud. He immediately wanted to refine this primordial heavenly dragon talisman. Although the might of 3,000 primordial heavenly dragon talismans was incomparable and could kill a sage, that was only when all 3,000 talismans were gathered together. If it was just one talisman, its might would be inferior to a lightning tribulation realm. At most, it would be at the level of a Dharma characteristic realm mighty figure. Therefore, he was naturally filled with confidence that it would be a piece of cake. Wait, be careful. There's still danger. However, The angel leader Oliver's expression changed as he immediately called out to Harley to stop him. What? Upon hearing that, Harley's expression changed. He immediately looked towards the spatial tunnel and was dumbfounded. In the deepest depths of the spatial tunnel, massive figures suddenly appeared out of thin air. These figures were all heavenly dragons. Counting carefully, including the heavenly dragon that had appeared previously, there were a total of 28. Boom! The moment the 28 heavenly dragons appeared, their auras fused together and erupted with the divine powers of the dragon race. They formed a heaven and earth array that spanned hundreds of thousands of kilometers, as though it wanted to devour the entire world. Oh no, why are there 28 primordial heavenly dragon talismans here? The angel leader Oliver's expression was extremely ugly. They could easily deal with a single primordial heavenly dragon talisman. However, a total of 28 primordial heavenly dragon talismans had appeared. They contained the heaven and earth truths of the 28 lunar mansions and could form a heavenly dragon constellation array. Such might was sufficient to kill a lightning tribulation realm mighty figure. If victory was within their grasp previously, they were now in a precarious situation. They were forced into a desperate situation. Roar! The 28 heavenly dragons roared angrily and attacked the group of angels. It was as though they wanted to annihilate all the invaders and eradicate them completely. All angels, listen up. Immediately set up the array, Holy Light Shield. The leader of the angels, Oliver, shouted. Just as he finished his sentence, the numerous angels formed seals with their hands and spread out to various corners. Massive holy light surged out from their bodies and rapidly gathered together. Countless angel runes appeared and fell like stars. With a boom, a gigantic transparent shield appeared, emitting endless holy light. There were countless angel runes on it, as though they formed an angel chapter. Dong! In the blink of an eye, the 28 heavenly dragons collided. It was like Gonggong colliding with Mount Buzhou. Immediately, there was an earth-shattering boom that shook the world. We blocked it. The various angels were delighted. Although the holy light shield was trembling, the heavenly dragons were unable to break through it. However, before they could rejoice for long, the 28 heavenly dragons roared. They twisted their massive bodies and bit down on the holy light shield. Chapter 16:20. Don't use the holy light shield. Since it's useless, let's fight them head-on. I don't believe that we angels can't deal with a bunch of dead creatures, Oliver shouted. Angel race's divine ability, holy light spear. He grabbed with his hand, and the holy light energy quickly gathered in his hand. Countless angel runes twisted and coiled around the white holy light spear like snakes. Swoosh! In an instant, the holy light spear was thrown at a heavenly dragon. It tore through the air like a missile. However, a heavenly dragon wasn't afraid at all. Its body emitted a terrifying dragon might, and a huge claw that contained the power of the heavenly dragon flowed with golden light. With a boom, the two powers collided and instantly destroyed each other. Oliver, let me help you. Harley also made a move. The other angels didn't hesitate and fought the heavenly dragons to the end. They used their angel ultimate skills, and the terrifying holy light divine ability blasted down. They turned into countless streams of light and formed peerless killing formations. Xia Ping felt the killing intent of the angels from afar, and he felt his heart skip a beat. If he stayed on the battlefield, he would probably be implicated and die without a complete corpse. Bang! 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 Under the lead of Oliver and Harley, the angels fought with the 28 heavenly dragons. Balls of white light collided with the heavenly dragons in mid-air, and there was a series of earth-shattering sounds. Every time the power of the two sides collided, the air exploded, and the surrounding mountains collapsed. Huge craters appeared on the ground, and the airflow spread for tens of thousands of miles. So strong. Tu Linglong was amazed. Although these heavenly dragons were formed from talismans, their actions were no different from real heavenly dragons. They were like artificial intelligence. Apart from having no emotions, their thinking was similar to that of living beings, but they were more rational. Their claws, pounces, and tails all contained terrifying power that could tear a mountain apart. Even a returning nature realm cultivator would be severely injured if they were hit. Moreover, their moves were extremely exquisite, as if they were martial arts masters who had been fighting for thousands of years. The 28 heavenly dragons even merged into one, forming the heavenly dragon constellation formation. They shared their power and communicated with the power of heaven and earth, and the power they released increased exponentially. Even though there were many angels, and there were 2 lightning tribulation realm angels, they couldn't do anything to these heavenly dragons. Heavenly Dragon Roar. A group of heavenly dragons worked together and shot out terrifying energy cannons from their mouths at the same time. They contained terrifying destructive energy and were like the Star Destroyer cannons on battleships. Just one blast from the energy cannon was enough to destroy a planet. With so many energy cannons blasting towards the angels, it was as if they were going to destroy everything. Rumble instantly, the group of angels were sent flying, and all of them were heavily injured. They coughed up large mouthfuls of blood, and their internal organs were all injured. Many of the angels turned pale, and several of their bones were broken. Although they didn't lose all their combat power, they still lost a portion of their combat power. This is a good opportunity. If both of them are injured, we might be able to profit from their misfortune. Seeing this, Tu Linglong rolled her eyes. She felt that this might be an opportunity for her. We might not be able to be the fishermen. Those primordial heavenly dragon talismans are inanimate objects after all. Furthermore, those angels aren't that simple either. They won't be defeated so easily, resulting in both sides suffering. Qing Wan had been very calm. She didn't believe that this group of angels would come to this place without any trump cards. Is that so? If we plan well, there might be a chance. Xia Ping's eyes lit up as he considered his actions. He wondered if there was a plan to plot against the 2 forces. Bang! Another collision. Both sides retreated hundreds of meters. However, the angels were severely injured, and their strength was weak. However, the 28 heavenly dragons didn't have it easy either. They seemed to have expended too much energy, and even the golden light on their bodies had been extinguished. They were like candles, and their energy was almost depleted. After all, they were talismans. Without energy replenishment, they couldn't fight a protracted battle. This won't do. We can't continue like this. Otherwise, we will definitely die of exhaustion. There's no way we can defeat these 28 heavenly dragons. Harley's expression was solemn. He could sense that the situation wasn't looking good for the angels. Based on the current situation, they would be exhausted before they could exhaust the power of the 28 heavenly dragons. Once they ran out of dermic powers, they would be even more fragile than babies. They would be at the mercy of others. It seems like we can only use our final trump card. I really can't accept this. I wanted to use it at the end, but I didn't expect to have to use it now. What a pity. Oliver wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, and a cold light flashed in his eyes. It doesn't matter. Obtaining this half-plane is equivalent to obtaining endless benefits. As for the treasures in other places, it's fine. Just these are enough to feed our angel clan, not to mention the 28 primordial heavenly dragon talismans. No matter how you look at it, this is a good deal, Harley said in a deep voice. He didn't feel the slightest bit of regret. You're right. Treasures are only valuable when they are used. Now is not the time to be stingy. Oliver nodded. He finally made up his mind. Boom. He grabbed with his big hand and immediately took out a white flame from his body. This white flame burned quietly in Oliver's palm, slowly rotating. In the depths of the flame, there seemed to be angel characters appearing. They were branded in the void, containing a terrifying destructive power. Angel flame. Corinne was shocked. He recognized the origin of this flame. He was extremely shocked. This was because angel flame was a terrifying flame that only saint-level angels could master. It was known as the flame of world annihilation. Even if there was only a little flame, it could turn the area within a radius of 100,000 miles into a dead zone. When this white flame appeared, in a trance, they seemed to hear an archangel chanting. It was like an angel's hymn. The ancient poem came from heaven. It was solemn and solemn, making people couldn't help but prostrate in worship. What? This group of angels actually have angel flame? Xia Ping couldn't help but frown. He could also feel the terrifying power of this flame. It was like a star living in it. Once it exploded, it would definitely destroy the world. Even if tens of thousands of nuclear bombs exploded at the same time, it wouldn't be comparable to such power. In fact, this angel flame was given to Oliver and the others by a saint-level archangel of the angel clan. The purpose was to use it as a trump card to destroy all enemies who tried to destroy the angel clan's plans. Chapter 1621. Die. A cold glint flashed in Oliver's eyes as he immediately threw the white flame in his hand at the 28 sky dragons. In an instant, the white flame turned into a sea of fire that spanned hundreds of kilometers. Rumble. Immediately, the 28 sky dragons let out furious roars. They attempted to extinguish the flames but to no avail. The might of the angelic flames was just too terrifying. Once one came into contact with it, it would be like a parasite. It wouldn't stop until the target was completely incinerated and purified. In just a few breaths, the 28 sky dragons kept tumbling in midair as their roars grew weaker. It was as though the power within the talismans was about to be depleted and reduced to their original forms. However, their original forms were sacred artifacts after all. The angelic flames were unable to destroy their original forms, but the might of the flames was enough to completely deplete the energy of the talismans, leaving nothing behind. As expected of the angelic flames bestowed upon us by the archangel. Its might is just too great. Even the 28 primordial sky dragon talismans can't withstand it. The angel flame is indeed powerful. This is our angel race's unique world extermination flame, the flame of purification. Any living thing that comes into contact with it will turn into ashes, ceasing to exist. How can a mere heavenly dragon resist it? Thankfully, there are only 28 primordial sky dragon talismans. If there were 36 of them to form the heavenly dipper 36 malevolence formation, I'm afraid we wouldn't be able to use the angelic flames. Regardless, we have finally won this time. When the 28 primordial sky dragon talismans are depleted and reduced to their original forms, we can take the opportunity to control and refine them for ourselves. The many angels were excited as their eyes lit up. They knew that the angelic flames would be able to deplete the primordial sky dragon talisman's powers in a few more minutes. The two Thunder Tribulation Realm angels, Oliver and Harley, were also looking forward to it. However, they suppressed their excitement and waited for the primordial sky dragon talisman's powers to be depleted to prevent any accidents from happening. Oh no, they actually used the angelic flames. It looks like the angels are about to succeed, Tu Linglong said anxiously. Tu Linglong said anxiously. She originally wanted to see the heavenly dragons and the angels fight to the death. She didn't expect the angels to have such a treasure. As expected, that group of angels does have a trump card. It seems like this treasure is not fated with us. Qing Yuan said regretfully. However, she didn't regret it too much. After all, without strength, even if she obtained a peerless treasure, she wouldn't be able to hold on to it. Instead, it would be a monstrous disaster. Xia Ping did not say a word because he was circulating the Hell Golden Crow's eye to constantly observe the 28 primordial sky dragon talismans. This power could penetrate the void and observe the various structures deep within the talismans. In just a breath's time, the structure of each primordial sky dragon talisman appeared before him in detail. He could not help but marvel. Every talisman was a treasure that excelled the workmanship of nature. There was a space within them, and deep within the space was the supreme will of the primordial sky dragon. Faintly, he sensed that deep inside the talisman space, there seemed to be an ancient sky dragon roaring towards the sky and opening its mouth, seeming to be able to swallow Heng Xing, so strong. Xia Ping was secretly astounded. Even though he had only seen a primordial sky dragon phantom, he could sense how powerful the primordial sky dragon in the depths of the talisman was. It could traverse dozens of stellar domains, and a slight roar could cause countless planets to tremble. If it were at its peak, this ancient sky dragon would definitely be able to rampage and fight a sage. However, at that moment, the ancient sky dragon seemed extremely weak. Its flesh and blood were shriveled, as though it had not been replenished for tens of thousands of years. It was starving to the point of being all bones. This was not only because it had been vying with the angels, but also because the angelic flames had drained its energy. At the same time, it had not been replenished for countless years, resulting in its current state. He could sense that if these talismans could obtain sufficient energy, they would probably be able to produce earth-shattering power. Of course, any energy was not sufficient. It had to be pure dragon energy to make up for the depletion of the primordial sky dragon talismans. I see. If I were to inject the dragon energy into these 28 primordial sky dragon talismans, I would immediately be able to activate the power deep within them, greatly increasing their strength. Xia Ping's eyes glinted. Although he did not have the strength of a true dragon, he had large amounts of dragon blood. There was even the barbaric dragon rabbit and other creatures that constantly produced dragon blood. With the power of the dragon blood, he believed that he could rejuvenate these primordial sky dragon talismans. At the thought of this, he did not hesitate. He grabbed out with his hand, instantly enveloping a blob of dragon blood with his dermic powers. It spun above his palm as it emanated the aura of a true dragon. Xia Ping circulated his martial divine power, head-piercing 7 arrows art, and threw the blob of dragon blood out like a hidden weapon. So. Instantly, the blob of dragon blood seemed to escape into the void. It was silent, so much so that even the lightning tribulation realm angels could not detect it. Perhaps they had never imagined that there would be someone lying in ambush nearby. At that instant, the blob of dragon blood barged into the battlefield and struck the 28 primordial sky dragon talismans. Immediately, the 28 primordial sky dragon talismans trembled incessantly, as though they had been injected with stimulants. It was also like a drought meeting with sweet dew. Primordial sky dragon phantoms appeared and devoured the blob of dragon blood. After obtaining the blob of dragon blood, the primordial sky dragon talismans underwent an unbelievable change. It was as though they had completely activated the power deep within the talismans, restoring all their strength to its peak state. Boom! Immediately, a gigantic primordial celestial dragon appeared in the sky. 28 stars appeared on its body. They were not ordinary planets, but stars that emitted terrifying energy. These 28 stars represented the 28 lunar mansions. A killing array 10 times more terrifying than before was instantly set up, encompassing a radius of 500 kilometers. The angelic flames that were wrapped around the primordial sky dragon talismans were also sent flying. Even their strength seemed to be greatly reduced. What's going on? Aren't these primordial sky dragon talismans about to be drained of energy? How did it suddenly revive as if it had been injected with chicken blood? How did it achieve a new lease of life? It's over. These 28 primordial sky dragon talismans have been completely activated and restored to their peak state. They are even stronger than before. How are we to defend against this? Someone must be causing trouble nearby, activating the primordial sky dragon talismans. Damn it, there's actually someone who dares to cause trouble right under our noses. They are courting death. Come out, you coward. Come out immediately. I'll tear you apart alive. The angels seemed to sense something as they let out angry roars. Chapter 1622. After being nourished by the dragon blood energy, these primordial sky dragon talismans were like a cardiac stimulant. All their potential was stimulated, allowing them to communicate with the will of the primordial sky dragon deep within the talismans. This also allowed them to unleash earth-shattering might. In an instant, the 28 talismans transformed into 28 stars that blanketed the surroundings, forming a peerless killing array that trapped Oliver, Harley, and the other angels. It was even to the extent that a terrifying storm erupted from the formation, completely drowning the area within a radius of 1,000 miles. The surrounding mountains collapsed and were razed to the ground. Countless explosions occurred, and the entire area almost collapsed and was completely smashed into smithereens. Hide. Upon sensing the destructive fluctuations, Xia Ping realized that he couldn't stay here for long. This was an indiscriminate attack. With a grab, he immediately threw Tu Linglong and the green wand into the space of the Pearl of Mountains and Rivers. His true body also instantly hid in the space of the Pearl of Mountains and Rivers. As the Pearl of Mountains and Rivers was a sacred artifact, it was extremely powerful. Just these fluctuations were unable to damage the internal structure of the Pearl of Mountains and Rivers. Therefore, it was the safest place to hide. Damn those primordial sky dragon talismans. Do they think they can kill me with such means? They're just a spent force. Let's fight it out with these talismans. Angel Annihilation Art, Break. In such a life and death situation, Oliver, Harley, and the other angels gave it their all. They cast peerless killing moves and used all their might to clash with the power of the 28 primordial sky dragon talismans. Boom! These two tyrannical forces collided with each other and exploded in an instant. It was as if the surroundings had turned into chaos, and the surrounding mountains collapsed in an instant. At that moment, the region within a radius of tens of thousands of kilometers was razed to the ground, turning into a plain. Ah! Following that, many angels let out tragic cries. Dozens of Restoration Realm angels and 6 Dharma characteristic realm angels died on the spot, blasted into a pile of meat paste. The other angels, including Oliver, Harley, and the other angels, were also severely injured. Their bodies were in tatters and they were a bloody mess. Large amounts of blood flowed out as though they were made of blood. In order to withstand the attacks of the 28 primordial sky dragon talismans, they had expended all their energy. They were like lamps that had run out of oil. It could be said to be the most miserable state of their lives. A good chance. Xia Ping's eyes lit up as he hid in the space inside the Pearl of Mountains and Rivers. His divine sense could sense that these angels were in their weakest state. They had no magic power and were defenseless. Furthermore, the 28 primordial heavenly dragon talismans had also been completely drained from the dragon blood energy he had bestowed upon them. They were in a state of complete exhaustion. In other words, both sides were in their weakest state. He knew that this was a great opportunity for him to make a move. If he missed this opportunity, he might not get it again. Whoosh! Xia Ping's body flickered as he pulled out the infernal demon's suppressing spear. Wings of the infernal golden crow appeared on his back as he dove into the void soundlessly. In the blink of an eye, he appeared before the angels. What? Oliver, Harley, and the other angels were all astonished. They hadn't expected that someone would attack them at this time. This person had targeted them when they were at their weakest, and there was a terrifying killing intent all around them. Good, very good. I've been waiting for you to appear. To think that a mongrel human at the Golden Core realm dares to hide nearby and ambush so many of my angels. You are truly audacious. Oliver's expression darkened as he let out a furious bellow. However, do you think that you can sneak an attack on a lightning tribulation mighty figure with your Golden Core realm strength? Even though I'm only left with a sliver of my strength, I'm not someone a mongrel ant like you can match. He gathered the last bit of lightning tribulation mighty figure strength in his body in a bid to kill Xia Ping. Fool! So what if you are a lightning tribulation mighty figure? You are already at the end of your rope when it comes to fighting to the death with the 28 primordial heavenly dragon talismans. You have less than a 10,000th of your strength left. You want to fight me with this crippled body? Even if you have 9 lives, you won't be able to survive. Xia Ping sneered and remained unmoved. He immediately attacked, thrusting the Infernal Demon's suppressing spear. Infernal Demon's suppressing spear's second move, Massacre. Immediately, hellish texts appeared on the Infernal Demon's suppressing spear, emitting wisps of hellish aura. They condensed into a boundless sharpness that contained terrifying, killing intent. This was the purest massacre aura that could obliterate bodies and souls. Holy Light Shield. Sensing the powerful killing intent, Oliver's expression changed drastically. His hair stood on end as he fought with his life on the line. The angelic power in his body rapidly gathered as more than 10,000 angelic runes rapidly gathered together, forming a white shield that blocked in front of him. He attempted to withstand the power of Xia Ping's spear in exchange for a chance of survival. Die! Xia Ping did not hesitate as the Infernal Demon's suppressing spear struck the Holy Light Shield. With a crack, the powerful killing intent instantly pierced through the shield, shattering it into pieces. The shield couldn't even withstand the Infernal Demon's suppressing spear for a second. How is this possible? Oliver couldn't believe it. The angel race's defensive divine power was extremely powerful. Once it was activated, it was comparable to a superior grade defensive spirit artifact. It was enough to withstand countless attacks. But now, this punk had shattered his Holy Light Shield with a single strike. It was simply unbelievable. But how could he know how terrifying the Infernal Demon's suppressing spear was? This was a weapon that came from the Hell's prison guards. It had once fought with the gods and demons of Hell. It was incomparably sharp and had endless killing intent. How could a mere Holy Light Shield withstand the sharpness of the Infernal Demon's suppressing spear? He didn't know this at all and still wanted to use the shield to block it. That was the path to death. Dong! In the next second, the Infernal Demon's suppressing spear pierced through the Holy Light Shield and then through Oliver's body. He was instantly pierced through like a barbecue, and a large amount of blood splattered out from his chest. Ah! Oliver immediately let out a shrill scream. At the same time, the Infernal Demon's suppressing spear activated its power and produced a devouring power. It gave off a blood-red light, and vaguely a demonic god appeared, devouring the power of the angel's bloodline. After a few breaths, his body rapidly shriveled, and all the essence of his flesh and blood was devoured cleanly. Damn it, this is the power of Hell. It is the mortal enemy of us angels. How did you obtain the power of Hell? Impossible, this is impossible. Oliver screamed again and again. He simply didn't dare to believe it, because what came from this spear was the power of Hell that angels were incomparably afraid of. It was also the power of corruption. But before he could understand this, the Infernal Demon's suppressing spear shook slightly, and with a dong, his body was shattered into pieces, turning into a pile of minced meat. Oliver! Lowly human, you actually dared to kill Oliver. I want you dead, I want you dead. Harley roared, and his eyes were about to pop out. Noisy. Xia Ping didn't even look and stabbed out with the spear again. It was as fast as lightning, and a winding trajectory appeared in midair. Dong! Chapter 1623. Lord Harley, Lord Oliver, how could this be? They're just ants in the golden elixir realm. How could they be so powerful? Run! Hurry up and run. This person is a demon from Hell. He's not human at all. I'll stop him. Everyone, run. Archangel, we must eradicate this hellish fiend. One by one, the angels roared loudly, and the thought of escaping arose in their hearts. Some angels even took the initiative to step forward, wanting to cover the retreat for the other angels and win a chance of survival. However, just as those angels who wanted to bring up the rear were about to step forward and execute the ultimate techniques of the angel race, Xia Ping made his move. Wielding the Hell Spear in his hand, he executed the hell-suppressing demon spear art one after another. The first style, Nature, and the second style, Slaughter. Two killer moves came crashing down at the same time, bombarding like a torrential storm. Xiao xiao xiao. Streaks of black energy descended like peerless killing intent. In an instant, the protective astral energy around the dozen or so angel warriors who tried to cover the retreat was instantly torn apart. With a boom, their bodies instantly exploded into pieces, turning into a mass of meat paste. At the moment of their deaths, the angels widened their eyes in disbelief, as if they hadn't expected that they would be killed by Xia Ping so easily. But how could these angels know how terrifying Xia Ping's current strength was? Although he was only at the intermediate stage of the Golden Core realm, in terms of combat power, he could simply sweep across the returning True Realm. With his Golden Crow of Hell bloodline, Hell Spear, and many other martial arts, his strength was so strong that it made people's hair stand on end. He was like a divine beast that had walked out of chaos. Furthermore, the battle between the angels and the primordial heavenly dragon talismans had already drained him of his dermic powers. He was like a lamp out of oil, unable to unleash even a 10,000th of his strength. How could these angels be a match for Xia Ping? Seeing that the angels were all killed, the remaining angels who tried to escape were completely dumbfounded. Their faces were ashen, and they didn't even know how to escape. They had already lost the ability to think. No! The angels shrieked, their faces filled with endless fear. A moment later, however, they were plunged into the darkness of nothingness. Xia Ping was like a demon, a tiger in a flock of sheep, wielding his hell spear to reap the lives of all living beings. In just a few breaths of time, the remaining angels were all killed, and not a single one was left. They simply couldn't resist Xia Ping for a single breath of time. Although these angels had died, each of them had left behind a sparkling and translucent angelic crystal. In particular, the crystals of the two Thunder Tribulation angels were palm-sized and hexagonal. They contained 18,000 angel runes that formed a mysterious and unfathomable formation. Each angelic crystal contained dense angelic energy. It was a rare and precious treasure. Capture. Xia Ping took action and collected all the angelic crystals. Without any hesitation, he immediately grabbed the 28 primordial heavenly dragon talismans that were floating in midair. To begin with, these primordial sky dragon talismans were untamed and had the pride of a primordial sky dragon. They would not submit to anyone, and unless a true dragon appeared, it was nearly impossible to subdue them. However, when they clashed with the power of the angels, their vital energy was shaken to the point of dissipating. The energy in their bodies was already like a lamp that had run out of oil. They were unable to use even the slightest bit of power in a short period of time, nor were they able to condense them. They all turned into talismans. It could be said that this was the moment when the 28 primordial heavenly dragon talismans were at their weakest. This opportunity was extremely rare, and it was unknown how long they would have to wait if they missed it. After all, these primordial heavenly dragon talismans contained the will of the primordial sky dragon. They were extremely powerful, and even if they were weak now, they wouldn't be for long. If no one suppressed and refined them, they would automatically recover after a period of time. They would automatically absorb void energy and slowly recover to their peak state. When that happened, their strength would probably increase greatly. If Xia Ping didn't have the strength of the Thunder Tribulation realm, it would be impossible for him to subdue them. It could be said that this was the best opportunity and a fortuitous encounter. Refine. A glint flashed in Xia Ping's eyes as he circulated the boundless dermic powers in his body. Instantly, he infused them into the primordial heavenly dragon talismans like a river flowing in reverse. Originally, the primordial heavenly dragon talismans wanted to resist, but they were instantly suppressed by his powerful dermic powers. Even the infernal golden crow's aura was transmitted over, suppressing the primordial skydragon's will and forcing it to submit. In just moments, the primordial heavenly dragon talismans were imprinted with Xia Ping's consciousness. Great, this is great. I've collected all 28 primordial heavenly dragon talismans. Xia Ping was very excited. With these 28 primordial heavenly dragon talismans, I can immediately set up the heavenly dragon 28 constellation array. It's extremely powerful and can even suppress Thunder Tribulation Realm mighty figures. With such a treasure, as long as I don't offend a sage, I can do as I please in the universe. No one will dare to offend me. He had obtained a super trump card and the benefits were boundless. However, he could also sense that it wasn't that simple to simultaneously power the 28 primordial heavenly dragon talismans. They needed to expend the energy of the dragon blood in order to produce their greatest strength. The problem was that he didn't have a lot of dragon blood. He estimated that he could only withstand 3 attacks before it was depleted. Therefore, it couldn't be used as a regular Dharma treasure. It could only be used as a disposable Dharma treasure. However, if he could obtain large amounts of dragon blood, he could use this Dharma treasure continuously to dominate the world. What a great treasure! After Xia Ping refined the 28 primordial heavenly dragon talismans, he immediately discovered that each talisman was like a primordial heavenly dragon. They greedily devoured the void energy in order to rapidly restore the talisman's strength. Deep within the talismans, there was even an intense primordial heavenly dragon aura that permeated Xia Ping's limbs and bones. It constantly strengthened every cell in his body. Vaguely, there was a primordial heavenly dragon growling in the depths of the void. It was as though the mighty will of the primordial heavenly dragon was cleansing his body of impurities and tempering his body. This also meant that even if he didn't cultivate, these primordial heavenly dragon talismans could automatically assist him in his cultivation, tempering his body and constantly evolving. Impressive. Just 28 primordial heavenly dragon talismans are already so impressive. If I can obtain 3,000 primordial heavenly dragon talismans, how impressive would that be? Xia Ping was astounded. Chapter 1624. When the green ox heard this, he didn't refute it. He also admitted this point. After all, the ancient heavenly dragon talisman was famous since the primordial era. It was one of the treasures of the dragon race and also one of Titania's personal treasures. It was extremely powerful and had unparalleled offensive capabilities. Also, the Pearl of Mountains and Rivers was considered a support-type sage artifact. It couldn't be compared to a specialized offensive treasure like the ancient heavenly dragon talisman. Its might was so strong that it could shake the heavens and earth. It was a pity that many sages were afraid of the ancient heavenly dragon talisman's might. Hence, they worked together to scatter the ancient heavenly dragon talisman to various parts of the universe. If it was possible, the sages also wanted to destroy this treasure. Unfortunately, this treasure was a peerless sage artifact. It was extremely powerful and had the property of being indestructible. It was impossible to destroy. Oh, there are still angel flames that haven't been extinguished. After refining the 28 ancient heavenly dragon talismans, Xia Ping immediately discovered that there were still traces of angel flames around the talismans. They seemed to be stubbornly burning the talismans, unwilling to be extinguished. Even if they were struck by the power of the ancient heavenly dragon talismans, it would be extremely difficult to completely extinguish them. It's good that they aren't extinguished. This angel flame belongs to me now. Xia Ping was delighted. He was still worried that he wouldn't be able to absorb more heavenly flames. This angel flame was undoubtedly one of the famous heavenly flames. It was a sacred flame belonging to the angel race. Only 1 in 10,000 angels could control it. He circulated the pure yang immortal art and swallowed the energy of heaven and earth. He immediately absorbed the traces of angel flame into his body and fused them into the solar furnace in the depths of his dantian. Angel flame. Xia Ping could feel his solar furnace devouring the energy of the angel flame. It fused and analyzed the abilities and attributes of the angel flame, understanding the endless mysteries of this flame. Very soon, he found out how amazing this angel flame was. It had the power to purify everything. This kind of purification wasn't the kind used by evil life forms. It had its own will. All enemies that went against it would be rapidly purified, burned, and destroyed by the angel flame. But if it was a friend, it wouldn't be harmed at all. It could even heal their friends' injuries. This was a powerful heavenly flame that could differentiate between friend and foe. It seemed to have its own laws and was extremely mystical. No wonder these angels can use angel flames without fear. I didn't expect them to have the ability to distinguish between friend and foe. This is incredible. Xia Ping simply couldn't believe it. The universe was vast, and there were truly all sorts of strange things. Even such an alien flame existed. Rumble at this moment, the moment the angel flame completely merged with his body, Xia Ping felt the golden crow cells in his body awakening crazily. It seemed like the energy of the angel flame brought great benefits to the golden crow bloodline. 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. In the end, he had awakened another 1 million golden crow hell cells, making his golden crow hell bloodline even richer. At the same time, the dermic powers in his body were also rising steadily, and the dermic powers in the Violet Mansion space were increasing crazily. Shockingly, it had reached the perfected middle stage of the Golden Elixir realm, and it was only a step away from breaking through to the later stage of the Golden Elixir realm. Obtaining the primordial heavenly dragon talisman and angelic flame had brought him tremendous benefits. It seems like I'm about to break through to the late stage of gold core. Xia Ping felt that he could break through to the later stage of the Golden Elixir realm at any time. All he needed to do was to train in seclusion for a period of time. That way, he would be even more at home in the Dragonwood Mystery Realm. He stabilized the dermic powers in his body and felt that there was nothing else for him to do. It was time to enter the world of the Mystery Realm. Therefore, with a thought, he released 2 Linglong and Green Wan. Whoosh! At this time, 2 Linglong and Green Wan also flew out of the space of the Pearl of Mountain and River. They looked around and found that the surrounding 10,000 miles had been razed to the ground. The situation was tragic, and there was a strong aura everywhere, making one's heart palpitate. But at this moment, the primordial heavenly dragon talisman and the angels had disappeared. Strange, where did the group of angels go? Could they have entered this space secret realm? 2 Linglong looked around and did not sense the aura of the angels. She thought that the group of angels had entered the space secret realm. No, they're just over there. Xia Ping pointed to the front. Fuck, they've all become like this. They're all dead. 2 Linglong looked in the direction that Xia Ping pointed and immediately saw a lump of meat paste. The blood was emitting a holy aura, and there were white feathers. Clearly, they were the corpses of the angels. However, they had been beaten into a lump of dregs, and it was impossible to tell their shape. If not for the rich angelic aura in their blood, no one would believe that they were once angels. Yes, they're all dead. Xia Ping nodded. Are you a pervert? 2 Linglong and Green Wan were speechless. There were Thunder Tribulation Realm mighty figures among the group of angels. Even if they were to take advantage of the situation, they might not be able to defeat the other party. Moreover, if the other party had any trump cards, they might even be killed instead. How could it be that easy to take advantage of the situation? They did not expect Xia Ping to really be able to kill all these angels. It was simply too unbelievable. You're welcome. Sneak attacks are my specialty, Xia Ping said smugly. 2 Linglong's face turned green as she bared her teeth. Clearly, she recalled the experience of being sneak attacked by this shameless human. Indeed, this bastard was best at taking advantage of others. Alright, enough with the nonsense. Let's enter this half-plane world and see what treasures are inside, said Xia Ping as he looked at the spatial passage in front of him expectantly. Tu Linglong and Green Wan both nodded. They were also curious about what kind of place was inside. Whoosh! In the blink of an eye, the three of them entered the spatial passage. Not long after Xia Ping and the others left and entered the spatial passageway, several forces from 10,000 kilometers away sensed the fluctuations of Yuan Qi in this area and quickly arrived. What's going on? There seems to be a strong Yuan Qi fluctuation in the distance. It seems that there are Thunder Tribulation Realm mighty figures fighting. No way. The Dragonwood Secret Realm is huge and has countless treasures. Why would they fight? And this is just the beginning. Someone must have found an incredible treasure, which is why the Thunder Tribulation Realm mighty figures are fighting to the death. What kind of treasure could it be that attracted the Thunder Tribulation Realm mighty figures? Could it be that they found a spatial node that has never been discovered before and found Titania's secret lair? I'm not sure, but we'll know once we go in and take a look. If there are treasures, we might be able to get a share. Right. Let's go and take a look. Countless forces were attracted by the fluctuations. For example, the elephant race, white tiger race, antelope race, peacock race, and other races of the Western universe all rushed over. Chapter 1625. Swoosh! Xia Ping, Tu Linglong, and Qing Wan passed through the spatial tunnel and arrived in another space, landing on the ground. This is the half-plane world. Xia Ping looked around and discovered that this was a vast half-plane world. Its surface area was at least as large as the surface area of Earth in his previous life. There were plains everywhere, and there were no tall mountains. Moreover, this was not as simple as plains, but many plots of farmland. There were large amounts of crops planted in the surroundings, as if this place was one of Titania's experimental plots. Oh my God, Master, look, that field is planted with crystal fragrant rice. The green ox's voice sounded, and it was very excited. There's another field with golden corn, and the field on the left is planted with glazed sweet potatoes. They are all rare spiritual grains, and their output is very high, not inferior to crystal fragrant rice. Its tone was very excited, indicating that it could all be transplanted into the space of the mountain river Pearl, and it could open up another field to plant these spiritual grains. One had to know that golden corn and glazed sweet potatoes were famous spiritual grains in the universe, and their value was not inferior to crystal fragrant rice. They contained boundless energy, but the difficulty of planting them was very high. Golden corn, glazed sweet potatoes. Hearing this, Xia Ping immediately went up and went to the field. There was a field filled with densely packed golden corn, and every single grain of corn seemed to be made of gold and gave off a golden light. It was as if they were made of gold, and they looked like a peerless piece of art in the world. He stretched out his hand and plucked a corn. At the same time, he circulated the flames in his body, raising the temperature. In an instant, this corn was roasted, and instantly emitted an enchanting fragrance. Good stuff. Xia Ping swallowed this corn, and as the golden corn entered his throat, it instantly melted in his mouth, turning into golden liquid, emitting a holy aura. Walala, this golden liquid entered Xia Ping's limbs and bones, swimming around in his body like lava, and finally entered the depths of his dantian, where it was rapidly refined and absorbed by the sun furnace. Then, this golden liquid turned into boundless energy, increasing the magic power in his body. It was even tempering his physique bit by bit, improving his bloodline. Different from crystal fragrant rice, these golden corn seemed to have the effect of improving bloodline and strengthening physique. I wonder what the glazed sweet potatoes taste like. Xia Ping looked toward another field with glazed sweet potatoes, and saw that these sweet potatoes were like glazed glass, sparkling and translucent, and there seemed to be countless complicated runes inside. Boom! He dug out a glazed sweet potato and immediately barbecued it. When the glazed sweet potato was cooked, it immediately emitted a purple aura. It was a noble and enchanting fragrance that made people drool. With a smack, Xia Ping immediately took a bite. Instantly, his mouth was filled with a fragrant aroma. It was as if the aroma had attacked the countless taste buds on his tongue. All the cells in his body seemed to be excited, and he was enveloped by a mass of purple. Absorbing the majestic energy of the glazed sweet potato, the spiritual power in the depths of his zifu was also constantly increasing. Even this glazed sweet potato had the energy to strengthen his spiritual consciousness, allowing his soul energy to increase a little bit. Delicious. Tu Linglong and Qing Yuan also seemed to be unable to resist the temptation of these delicacies. They also picked some glazed sweet potatoes and golden corn and quickly cooked and roasted them as tonight's dinner. An hour later, they ate until their bellies were bloated, and steam was emitting from their bodies. Their magic power increased greatly, and their qi and blood were like dragons, emitting terrifying heat like a furnace. Master, quickly pick all these spiritual grains and transplant them into the space of the pearl of mountains and rivers. This is a rare spiritual item, and it's very difficult to find, the green ox immediately said. Although the space of the pearl of mountains and rivers had a spiritual item like the crystal fragrant rice, just one kind of spiritual grain was too monotonous. If it ate it every day, it would definitely be disgusting. Now that there were two spiritual grains, golden corn and glazed sweet potatoes, it could greatly increase the number of species in the space of the pearl of mountains and rivers. Master, my God, this land is all 9 heaven living soil. It's a total of 30 million square kilometers. We're rich, we're really rich this time. Quickly dig it all up. The green ox also noticed that the soil on the ground was not ordinary. It was the famous 9 heaven living soil. It was very excited. With more soil, the pearl of mountains and rivers would surely recover faster. Okay. Xia Ping nodded. Although he already knew that this half-plane world was extremely beneficial, he didn't expect to find so many treasures as soon as he entered. How could he be polite? He immediately started digging. In just an hour, this half-plane world's crystal fragrant rice, glazed sweet potatoes, golden corn, and even the 9 heaven living soil had been dug clean by him. There were potholes everywhere. This bandit. Tu Linglong and Qing Yuan were both speechless as they looked at this place. They had come to this half-plane world to search for precious treasures, but this bastard human had even dug up the soil of this half-plane world, and he had even dug 3 feet into the ground. How was this a human? Even a Taotai wouldn't go so far. Wherever this bastard went, not even a blade of grass would grow. Even if one's home was robbed, it wouldn't be this abominable. Now that Titania's lair had encountered this guy, it was simply 8 lifetimes of bad luck. However, they also knew that these spiritual grains were good stuff. They had great benefits for purifying one's bloodline and tempering one's physique, so they also joined in the plundering, obtaining a total of 1,000 tons of spiritual grains. These spiritual grains were probably enough for them to eat for a few hundred years. After all, how could their appetites compare to a freak like Xia Ping? Of course, these spiritual grains were only a drop in the ocean compared to the entire half-plane world. It was far from comparable to what Xia Ping had plundered. There seems to be a laboratory here. After Xia Ping searched the spiritual grains in this half-plane, he immediately discovered that there was a huge building in the depths of this half-plane. There were many laboratories built there, covering an area of 100,000 square kilometers. He went in to take a look, wanting to know what treasures were inside. Unfortunately, after a closer look, he discovered that this place had long been empty. All the experimental equipment had been moved away. Titania probably also knew that she was surrounded by many sages, so she had already made preparations to retreat. She moved all the important treasures away, leaving only an empty shell behind. No, wait, there's still some experimental data here. Xia Ping searched carefully and immediately discovered that this place was still missing. He found many experimental data written in the dragon language, left behind by Titania. Because he had consumed the universal translation fruit, he already knew the dragon language like the back of his hand. He had no trouble reading it. Chapter 1626. I see. After reading the information, Xia Ping realized that Titania had never intended to create a monster like the zombie beast. She had intended to use the Taotia's cells to create a potion that could allow life to evolve continuously. After all, the Taotia's bloodline was amazing. As long as it ate enough, it could evolve continuously without any bottlenecks. Countless creatures were envious of it. However, there was only one shortcoming, and that was its endless greed. It seemed that no matter how much it ate, it would not be able to satisfy it. This was also one of its biggest shortcomings. But even so, Titania's experiment was considered half a success because she had indeed created a powerful monster that could evolve continuously and was indestructible. It could also continuously create dependents, which was extremely infectious. If these dependents with the Taotia's bloodline did not lose their minds and their souls were not destroyed, the experiment would be perfect. The reason why the Taotia's dependents would lose their rationality was because this corpse itself was a crazy monster without any rationality. Its divine sense had a tyrannical destructive power that could destroy anything. At the moment of infection, the souls of those dependents would be eroded by the corpse beast's soul, which was why the infected creatures would go crazy. Even Titania could not control such a monster. She could only let it go. No, that's not right. In other words, if the zombie beast can be controlled and regain its sanity, doesn't that mean that people infected with the zombie beast's bloodline will not go crazy, just like the dependents of the sucking blood clan? Can it create an endless army of dependents? Xia Ping narrowed his eyes. If he could create a large number of Taotai dependents with sanity, it would be equivalent to controlling a terrifying army with infinite potential. His power would expand geometrically. He was very excited at the thought of this. It was impossible for other people, even saints, to control the zombie beast. However, Xia Ping was different. He had mastered the soul seal, a powerful mental secret skill that could even control saints. He might be able to completely control the zombie beast and make it his loyal subordinate. Once controlled by the soul seal, the zombie beast would not go crazy again. It could completely control the destructive power of the infection. It would not destroy the sanity of the infected and cause a disaster. To be honest, Titania had also wanted to find this mental secret skill, but the blood soul saint had already been killed. The soul seal had also been lost for a long time. She could not find it even if she wanted to. Interesting. Perhaps this is a huge trump card. Xia Ping rubbed his chin. He was tempted to search for the sealed zombie beasts. Perhaps he would have the chance to enslave them and make them his loyal subordinates. Xia Ping, there seems to be a restriction array core here. Can it control the demiplane here? Suddenly, Tu Linglong's voice sounded out. Whoosh! Xia Ping's figure flickered and he arrived beside Tu Linglong and the blue wand in an instant. There seemed to be a huge black steel in the center of the laboratory, engraved with numerous complex arrays and emitting peculiar spatial fluctuations. It was like the center of this demiplane, stabilizing the entire demiplane. Yes, this stone tablet is the core of this demiplane world. As long as you refine this stone tablet, you can completely control this place. Xia Ping nodded. Hurry up and refine it. I have a bad feeling about this. The blue wand said in a deep voice, just now, the angels and the primordial heavenly dragon talisman fought for a long time, causing strong fluctuations. It might be noticed by others and come over to investigate. If the space node of this place is discovered, we must escape. The blue wand bloodline in her was warning her that if she did not completely control this demiplane and transfer the space node, she would definitely encounter great danger. There is indeed this possibility. Xia Ping nodded. He immediately stepped forward and infused his mana and divine sense into the stone tablet. In an instant, his divine sense had an inexplicable connection with the stone tablet. Vaguely, he seemed to feel that he had merged with the entire demi-plane world and could control everything in this world. Boom! With a thought, the space passage that was still open was immediately closed. The space node even moved and hid on a grain of gravel on the ground thousands of miles away. In this way, no one could find the existence of this space node. In fact, if there was someone in this demi-plane world and he had refined the stone tablet, no matter how powerful the angels were, they would not be able to find the location of this demi-plane. However, once this space node changed, it caused trouble for the elites of the various races in the Western universe who came to find out what had happened. They searched everywhere but could not find out what had happened in this place. After wasting a few days, they still could not find any clues. They could only give up. However, this matter had nothing to do with Xia Ping. There's a secret warehouse here. After completely controlling this demi-plane world, Xia Ping knew this space like the back of his hand. His divine sense swept in all directions and sensed every corner of this space clearly. Soon, he discovered a secret warehouse in a corner of this space. There was a powerful restriction array set up in that place. It had the ability to conceal one's aura, as though it was hidden in the depths of a dimension. If he had not controlled this demi-plane world, he would not have discovered it. Dong! Xia Ping did not hesitate and immediately teleported over. He controlled the power of the stone tablet and instantly cracked the secret restriction array. Suddenly, a small warehouse was revealed. With a bang, he stretched out his hand and pushed open the door of the warehouse. Oh my God, what is this? Tu Linglong and Qing Wan naturally followed him. When they saw the things in the warehouse, they could not help but widen their eyes, dumbfounded and shocked. Dragon crystals, these should be dragon crystals that only the dragon clan can have. Xia Ping also could not help but gasp because this warehouse was filled with a strong true dragon aura and majestic energy. A large number of dragon crystals were piled up like a small mountain. Each of these dragon crystals was the size of a fist. They were blood red as if they were condensed from blood. They were the true essence of the dragon's blood and emitted infinite heat like suns. Ordinary people would be burned if they got close to them. Tu Linglong and Qing Wan were breathing rapidly. They felt that these dragon crystals were their opportunities for evolution. They could greatly purify their bloodline and increase their potential. Perhaps even the legendary Dragonwood source could not compare to this. You're tuning into the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.